Ugh. Damn, I miss being here. Shout out to the game for holding us down. It has been such, such a long time since I've been able to go live. The game know what I've been through. I've been holding down the fort at my 9 to 5, but I am back. It is still no all season. We are the CFB Nation. No off season, like I already said. You already know what time it is. Yes, sir. Today I am the governor of college football. Yes, sir. The mayor of college football, aka downtown Nino Brown. Yes, sir. Welcome to another marvelous episode of Overreaction Monday. I am the governor of college football, and with me is a guy that needs no introduction, the mayor of college football, downtown Nino Brown. Also with us tonight, the waviest to ever do it, CFB Moon. Gentlemen, how y'all feeling tonight?
I'm good, man. We got the leader back. You know what I mean? We got the CEO, the governor, the main man, the man of the hour. It's a pleasure to be with you, man.
Moon, how you feeling? I'm happy to be back. I truly appreciate you guys for holding it down. Yo, I truly appreciate it's been some trying times. I tell you, it's been some trying times. I told Nino in the green room, my mama hit me up like, "You good? Like you ain't been recording. Like what's going on?" I'm like, "Yo, I'm busy. Huh? I'm like, I'm working.
I'm fishy in here, man.
I gotta teach these maggots to be leaders, man." So that's what's been going on. Moon, how you doing, bro?
Yes, sir. That's how I feel. Yeah. We've been cooking, man. Make sure y'all check out dcfbnation.com. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of the content, absolutely destroyed it while in Mobile. I seen Moon putting out a bunch of HBCU content, which is super dope. I think, Moon, you're going to the HBCU legacy situation coming up in a few days. So I couldn't be more happy to get back. But let's talk college football. College football, I miss you. Dear college football, I can write a whole letter about you right now. Let's kick this episode off the only way we know how to kick it off. Let's do some rapid fire. Let's start off with Nino, man. What P14 was in the college football playoff this season won't be in it next season?
Downtown.
It might not be too rapid. And I know he's probably in the off season got our fan, but I'm gonna go with Boise State. I think that they're gonna be the one and done. Ashton Genty was 60% of that offense. And they're probably gonna go running back by committee. You got Sherrod, Dubois, and Gaines. Me and Moon just did a Debbie Dollins on Dubois. Check it out if you can. I think he's going to be the guy to take the role. But they lost Cam Campbell to the portal. You lost Prince Straton to the portal, right? So it pretty much seems like you lost Mekhi Nelson to UTEP. It seems as though they're going to rely on Maddox Madsen to be the veteran in this offense. That scares me because you have 6 games of less than 58% completion. When you got 20 turnover-worthy plays compared to 9 big-time throws, and you lost your whole wide receiver room, and they didn't bring nobody in through the portal, I get a little nervous there. I know James Montgomery's a dude and the running back coach there, so hopefully he can whip up this 3-headed monster. But they have an easy schedule. But week 4, they face number 4 Notre Dame. I think that's going to be the bell setter, October 4th, right? They lose that game, they're probably going to start the season inside the top 25. They lose that game, they're probably outside of the top 25, and I don't know if there's a team that they could win against that gets them back into the top 25. Colorado State looks pretty good. Quarterbacks returned, right? They got the offense looks like it's going to be clicking on all cylinders. UNLV, yes, they replaced a lot of people, but I think that's going to work pretty well with what they got for talent. They're probably the number one in that division coming into this year. So Boise State looks to me like they could be on the outside looking in, could have been one and done. And, a lot of people are going to say, oh, it was the Ashton Genty effect. I think there was a lot of pieces, outside of just Ashton Genty and the reason why they won't be in the playoff this season.
Moon, talk to me.
I agree with you, Nino. I agree with you.
My man.
And for the first, we've been getting along a lot lately. Hey, listen, I agree with you. If it had to be my pick, though, it pains me to say this, bro, because this team is growing on me. a lot over the last year, but I'm going SMU. SMU is not going to be back. And I'm sorry, you're going to have to hit the road, Jack. Don't come back no more. But listen, this is the reason why I back it up. Last year, the lasting taste that I have in my mouth, ladies and gentlemen, is the Penn State game in Happy Valley, where it was negative 100 degrees and Kevin Jennings was slinging the ball to the opposition, and the linebackers for Penn State had a fiesta en route to the Fiesta Bowl. So my lasting image in my mind is Rhett Lashley and his play calling getting tested. Last year, we praised SMU because they didn't have to play the juggernauts in the ACC. They skipped out on them en route to the ACC championship where they lost to Clemson. The same team I'm banking on them to lose to this year. Why? The game is in Death Valley. But not only do they play Clemson this year, SMU probably has the toughest schedule in the ACC.
Deservingly so.
They have to play Syracuse at home. Home game versus Stanford that they host. They also have to play Miami, a team that they ducked last year, at Clemson. And you also have to play Jeff Brom's Louisville Ball Club
He's
to close the season out before you go to Berkeley and Cal. I feel like they're bound to slip up. I'm interested to see SMU go from the role of new kid on the block to shifting to being the hunted now. There's no way, shape, and form that a team that's on the early part of your schedule, like a UVA Cavaliers, who definitely need a winning season this year to move that needle in that direction, is going to be looking at you like, oh, that's just SMU. We saw how the early season popped off last year, a little shaky for SMU, dealing with quarterback struggles. So I bank on the fact that they're going to come out the gate slow. Now, I feel like it's going to come down to Rhett Lashley. You're going to have to go up against the juggernaut coaches, Brand Brown, Mario Cristobal, Jeff Brown. Like, it's inescapable at this point. And we're going to have to see how you adapt. How much of the play calling do you let to the side? Because it obviously didn't work last year. And that's just the facts. It worked to a certain degree. They blew teams out of the water in the regular season. But when it came to the money on the line and it comes to playing in a college football playoff, or ACC championship game, they didn't put up numbers. They were stifled at the beginning of the first game. And then in the playoff, it was just ugly. So I'm looking at SMU's schedule and I'm saying that they're the team, my P4 team, that's not going to make it. And I think that their spot will be replaced by a Clemson.
I do want to say this, and all hope isn't lost for SMU. Like Moon said so eloquently, Rhett Lashley, had a lot of stones for going with Kevin Jennings over Preston Stone. We really were, and I will say I was extremely critical of his decision. Like, what are you doing? Both of these kids could be starting somewhere. What are you doing? Ultimately, he went with Kevin Jennings. Kevin Jennings will be the guy this entire offseason, and maybe they can build up some of that comfortability. It'd have been impossible for a lot of teams to go to Penn State and get a win that day. I'm just saying how electric that atmosphere was. Can they build on it? Will they have the same schedule that they have last year? Absolutely not. They'll be playing a much tougher schedule. The team, for me, that I'm probably monitoring the most out of all playoff teams, I think this may be a legacy season for Marcus Freeman. And I say that because a lot of people feel a way about Notre Dame not being in a conference, kind of playing the select schedule that they play. And we think about, some of the tougher games that they had to play last season versus if you look at the schedule this season, they do play in Coral Gables. It'll be interesting to see what that game look like. And then Texas A&M. If they can come out of there 2-0, then it's Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State. I'm not saying these teams are slouches. NC State, USC, at BC will be a tough one. Will certainly be there in the building for that one. Navy.
Can't wait for that one.
What do we expect out of Syracuse this year? I know we're all big Fran Brown believers, but what do we expect out of them this season? And then at Stanford. So I think this year can be a legacy year. I'm not sure if Notre Dame's going to make it or not, but they have little room for error because they're not playing in a conference championship, in my opinion.
Quick question for you.
Good.
When you looked at their schedule this year versus what you saw last year, which one do you think is tougher?
I think it's a tricky question because there's still some things we haven't quite figured out about this upcoming year. Is Texas A&M going to be as good as they were last year.
Them boys looking for revenge.
Mario Cristobal. How much stock are we putting into him? Has he arrived? We're gonna talk about coaches a little bit later, but has he arrived as a coach? I know he got Carson back. Hell of a get in the portal. But Nino, I feel like you got something you want to add to this.
Well, I'm gonna touch on yours, but then I want to get back to Moon's real quick.
Okay.
You said your team that you were kind of like on was who again?
Me?
Yeah.
Me. I wanted to comment on Notre Dame. I believe it's a legacy.
Who's throwing the football?
Huh?
Who's throwing the football?
Yeah, that's that.
They're going in jelly. And jelly. They're going in jelly.
Okay, sure. I have a funny feeling that they might be going with a kid with zero experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
CJ Carr, I think, is the kid that everybody likes, but that's zero experience. They're losing a dog, 2 dogs on the line, a dog at linebacker, and 2 dudes in the secondary. That's a lot of holes. That defense was number 1, correct? Or 2 behind Ohio State. I don't know if they're going to have a top 3 defense this season with all the guys they're losing. So
I know prior to last season, I know I damn sure didn't have Notre Dame in a college football playoff. I just thought that they would have to be damn near perfect. So for all year, he can coach.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna come into the year knowing that they're not getting a top 4 seed. Every year, you're not getting one. That's what you signed up.
You got to be damn near perfect,
right?
I have a funny feeling this is going to be 2023 Notre Dame.
2020
what? Hell of a tape.
2023, bro. You're gonna get the Sammy Hartman season. Like I don't.
Oh, that was a rough year, bro. Because they went to Clemson. I got to start Sammy Hartman in person. Like that was. They
had 3
losses that
difficult. Year. I wouldn't even say difficult. Slightly difficult games this year. 3 total. 1 was difficult. The other 2 were slightly different.
And it felt like they used to schedule much tougher back in the day versus how they schedule now.
Yeah. I agree. So,
but things are different now.
I see where you're coming from with Notre Dame. Moon, SMU. Another year, Mr. Jennings is going to have under his belt with his coaching staff, right?
I believe it.
RJ Miller's coming back, right?
Who?
RJ Miller?
Yeah.
What did he play? Maybe 6 or 7 games last year before he was out for the season?
6 games, I believe, but he was balling in the last.
He was. I can't wait to see him at ACC Media Days.
My question is, I have a lot of boxes I need Carson Beck to check. You tear down, from my opinion. From the SEC to ACC, right? You kind of have some shoes to fill with Cam Ward, right? Like Cam Ward went out there and balled his ass off, top 3 quarterback in the nation, top 5 quarterback in the nation. Beck's got some shoes to fill. Was it a money grab to go to Miami?
Of course.
Or was it a draft stock grab? Like
neither.
Did you tear down to get better?
We know what he went for.
You know what he went for.
Well,
and it ain't because the stadium is 15. Never mind.
I know. Listen. Hey, also, right? Like Clemson may have turned the page, but that's a big may. We've seen them start
to Clemson, bro.
Well, I know they're special to your heart.
They're special to my heart.
We've seen them in the last maybe 6 years. I've said it a couple times. I think they're going to turn the page here, and then the next season they regress. So I need to see what we're going to get. We need to figure out who's going to be that running back for Clemson to help Clemson in that final run, right? I think he's going to be a top 3 quarterback in this class. He's been my guy along the way.
He has been.
But he might have to be that guy this year.
Let me just.
I'm just saying. So it's not like cakewalks for those top tier teams. I don't know if I truly trust Miami to be as dominant. Like they had, that defense. They got to fix that defense.
They do have to fix it. I'll give you this. They still have a lot of young talent on the defense still. They still do. And that can give me hope if I'm a Miami fan. Like they might have the biggest question mark in your mind as far as quarterback because Carson Beck, we know why he moved. We're not gonna get into that, but we know. However, he's there now. You talk about a drop off. You could be going to Cam Ward straight to Emery Williams, and I'm just like, oh, it's a big one. if we go to Cam Ward to Carson Beck, I'm like, okay, it's not that far of a drop off, but I bank on them to run the gosh darn football and play physical Miami football. That's what I want them to do. It comes with identity, of course, of matching it from offense and defense. Of course, it's a marriage, but I feel like you still have the consistency of the offensive line being there, which I can bank on, and then you still have the consistency, at least with the young talent. Now, Syracuse, Fran Brown is still the coach of Syracuse. And the last time I checked, they're still dark mentality, and I'm never going to bet against Fran Brown. And in this situation with SMU, I don't think that game is a pretty one. You have to host Syracuse early in the year. Sorry, Jack. That's too much ammunition. There's too much ammunition early in the year. Then when you talk about the other key player, Jeff Brom, I'm putting my money on Jeff Brom this year. He disappointed me last year at times. There's no way I could let you off the hook for Stanford, bro. There's no way. No way. My heart still hurts at the end of the season how they crumbled because we were looking at them as a projected high team. Like, yo, look, they can make serious
Stanford
noise.
also got Fran Brown to Syracuse
Yeah.
last year as well. So
I can't forgive him for that either.
And that's why the games are played, brother.
Yeah, but to your point, Kevin Jennings is going to take that next step.
I
As
think
far
he
as
will.
like he will. I think him and Rhett Lashley and their comfort is going to grow. I just have my question marks on this. ACC is not you're the hunted now. You're not the new kid on the block.
It's definitely gonna be different.
Yeah.
Oh, agreed.
Do you think that they win at Clemson? Because that game right there is probably going to be
Who?
for positioning. SMU. SMU has to play Clemson in October.
Yeah, but all right. You can think about beforehand though. They're playing 1, 2, 3, 4 games. Syracuse is at home. They're playing 5 games at home before they go on the road to Clemson. They could possibly be 6-0. Probably going to be 6-0.
They host Baylor.
Yeah.
Okay.
They host Baylor,
but they got to go to TCU. They got to go on the road to TCU.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Sunny Dykes.
Then they get a week off and they host Syracuse and host Stanford, right? Decent teams, but they're at home. Who's the quarterback for Syracuse this year? Who's the running back for Syracuse this year? Who's the wide receiver for Syracuse this year? I think Syracuse is going to be okay, but they're finding an identity. It's not a rebuild. It's a regroup.
But they already have their identity. They're just finding players and talent to come.
It's not as easy.
Just like they did last year.
I'm sorry. I love Fran Brown, bro. But we aren't at the level of Georgia, Alabama.
Oh, no, for sure.
Oklahoma. We don't just plug and play. Yes, he's got an identity. He's got something started. It ain't as simple in year 2 to just plug and play. And if it is, well, then we need to move Fran Brown in this tier.
But you also need to you need to put him in the tier 2 just for him not just plug and play, but also convincing players to stay. Because he convinces a lot of players to stay.
It's
from that
one year.
He got there.
1 year. I need to see more of a consistency to put him in another tier. But 1 year of production, I ain't moving nobody in tiers or for 1 year.
Let me ask you this: who do you fear more if you're playing as an ACC foe? Georgia Tech's Brent Key or Fran Brown?
Fran Brown. Who's got more talent on a roster right now?
Georgia Tech.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Fran Brown is the easy answer.
For me, it is.
In that question, well, because Georgia Tech got one hell of an identity. Brick, he ain't trying to hide what he's going to do. He's going to run the ball. That's exactly what he's going to do, and they're going to bring a certain type of physicality. Yo, Georgia can count they goddamn black. They still would have made it to the college football playoff, but we seen how physical Georgia Tech can be, and I'm not sure. Maybe from a schematic standpoint, you'll be more afraid of Fran Brown and what his teams can do. But a team that's physical and is built from the mindset of an offensive lineman, and hey, they going to bring their lunch pail and they're going to come ready to work. That's a little different.
ACC gonna be tough this year.
I love the ACC,
but I love saying that now. That
I love the ACC. ACC loves us too.
I don't know if the ACC is going to be tough. We'll have to see how these spring rosters kind of fill out. The way I look at it right now is there could be 4 tough teams, and then the rest could be fighting for mediocrity.
Yeah, there's a team in Blacksburg that really pissed me off last year. I don't want to talk about it though.
Hey, so just real quick, Syracuse is going to probably run with Ricky Fowles. Fowles, I think it is a Fowles, the LSU transfer.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a first-year QB, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't get anybody in the portal for running back, so it's going to be in-house, next man up mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Boomer, I think, is joining the show in a few seconds now.
Mm-hmm.
So I trust Fran Brown. I trust Fran Brown what he did prior to being here. You know what I'm saying? I just need to know
that man is a recruiter, dog.
Who's going to be the guy? Who's going to be the lead? Can he now mold a quarterback? He had a seasoned QB.
Because he convinced Kyle McCord to stay. He said, "Look, bro, you come here, you be a Syracuse legend, bro."
And now Kyle McCord's in a lot of circles, in kind of in the circle that's in my head as well, is in the talks of possibly in 3 or 4, QB 3 or 4 in this class.
Battle Jackson Dart. Shout out to KT because he called it. Ben called it. But
his stock is rising. Hey, I had a rapid fire for you, and I just lost it more, and I had it for you. Maybe it'll come back to me. What were we just talking about? Fran Brown, Syracuse. I got it. Just came back to me. And CFB 25, what would be Fran Brown's archetype?
Recruiter,
over motivator. Really?
It would be recruiter by a length. In my opinion, it would be recruiter by good.
And then he would go purchase the motivator.
That might be 50-50, bro.
Yeah, I with you, Nino. I'm with you.
I would say recruiter just because that's where he got it out the mud from, convincing players to come. He has so many connections and pipelines throughout the country. Fran Brown is connected. Fran Brown is connected from coast to coast. That man's call log itinerary was probably deep. So I'm just banking on his connections, and to what Nino said, he's like, "Who's gonna be the guy?" I'm like, he can find a guy that knows a guy that can come.
So, hey, I just say he can find a guy, but can it be something that's smooth and not this bumpy path year one?
Well,
you're talking about 2 teams though that are like, we gotta win now. It ain't time to like Clemson and Miami. They're main guys, they're quarterbacks, right? They're main linebackers and stud defensive ends. It's time. We ain't got no more time left. It's time to expire. So they need to make it happen now. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm like,
I agree.
There's a game September 20th. Shout out to my guy Nino, because he never wavered. Even before the season, I was saying Billy Napier is cooked. That's the game I'm circling on the schedule as a measuring stick for where Miami and this crystal ball team is going to be. Boomer has joined us, so I'm going to ask him the first question, just like I asked you all the first question. So name a team, a P4 team that was in the playoff this past season that won't be in the playoff next season.
That's
Boise State.
SMU.
They already been said.
See, he agree with me.
SMU, Boise State, both of them.
Yeah, he agree with both of us.
So
could you make an argument about Indiana though?
Yeah, I was surprised I didn't hear Indiana. I expected Indiana off the rip.
I think they got a chance.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. They're so bad, I forgot they were in.
Good Lord, bro. Come on.
I mean, it is what it is. That they didn't belong. I could have picked probably a Big 12 team that was better.
Hold on 1 second. Real quick now. I gotta hold on.
What you got, Nino?
Bro, they brought in Fernando Mendoza and Roman Hemby. Like, these aren't like chumps. Fernando Mendoza was a really good quarterback.
You know him, he's my guy.
Roman Hemby is a dog out of Maryland running back. So I think they could probably battle for both Justice Ellison and Curtis Rourke. It might be better than the guys that were there last season. Yo, their schedule ain't that shitty, bro. Like, who they play? They play Penn State. That's it. In Oregon. I'm sorry. Penn State and Oregon. Both of them are on the road. So they might lose 2.
That's 2 losses.
You don't think that a 2-loss team gonna make the college football playoff this year?
No, not in this tournament.
Okay. Whoa. So you think that the Big Ten
last year was different?
You think the Big Ten? Here's what I'm trying to say to you. There's a good chance that there won't be an undefeated team in the Big Ten.
Okay.
Hey,
now that
whether you love or hate it,
totally different, right?
Indiana got 3 losses, if not 4 next year.
Bro,
bag it.
I can see
bag it.
How Illinois is ranked preseason top 15 is redonkulous.
I agree, but Illinois, hey, love or hate it, Illinois had a pretty solid season under Bielema.
They did.
Yeah, but they were like Katy Perry too, hot and cold, bro. Like they
They
were
were.
hot in the beginning of the season, middle of the season, ice.
Oh, that's the definition of it.
Hey, that's Brett Bielema. So there's that.
I'm just saying, I'm not an Indiana guy. I'm just saying to write them off and say,
Hey, I wasn't a Wisconsin guy either, but that dude freaking took him to 11 wins. So
Shout out to friends in the network, Wisconsin.
all right, let's keep it
Hey,
rocking.
let's get to the
Spicy, but the SEC, they
by the way, I'm sorry that I'm late. Also, the fact that I missed my Dabo hater segment is I apologize.
You did.
there's nothing.
Oh, I didn't miss it. I can't wait. Can't wait.
I'm going to name a coach. You tell me whether they are elite or not. Moon, I'm coming to you first, and I'm putting you on the hottest of hot seats. Lincoln Riley is Lincoln Riley an elite coach or not?
Elite, easy.
What?
Elite. I went to Maryland on the CFB Nation tour, my dog, 2024 with KT Governor, and we got a chance to see Lincoln Riley cooking with a play call sheet that was as big as my phone, as you can see right there. It was as big as his phone. I mean, he was dialing it up. They still took a loss. I get it.
How many losses did he take?
It's my time to cook, boom. He still took a loss, but that man was out there cooking. No big play call sheet where you got to cover up your mouth. None of that. Just straight cash money. I saw it with my own eyes on the sidelines. And I told KT, I said, bro, something is up with that man. He is different. Of all the coaches I get a chance to see, he's the one that's dialing it up. The reason why Lincoln Riley is a creator, he has consistent success. He's had multiple conference championships and playoff appearances. That alone by itself makes him elite. He has an innovative offense. He's known for being creative, being explosive, and ranking top in the nation. He's produced Heisman winning quarterbacks. That's another reason why he's elite. He's able to adapt. Now, do I wish that he could adapt more in his situation at USC? Time will tell. Time will tell, truly. But he has that in his repertoire, and that's the reason why he even got the USC coaching job in the first place. His recruiting prowess is the last reason why I feel like he is elite. Now, I'll lay the mic down. Here you go.
Interesting answer, Moon. I picked on you a little bit with that one because I knew how you felt about Lincoln Riley.
I love Lincoln Riley.
We've been to a lot of games. I've never seen a coach with a smaller play call sheet. Boomer is killing it over. Killing it.
I rooted his ass because he would have been rough.
Yeah.
Heisman winner.
Nino, you up next. Talk to me about Josh Heupel. Let's go solo to Nino.
All right. Heupel, my man, I've always said he runs a QB friendly offense, right? You know, it's kind of like the first read and go. But I mean, you got 3 seasons and 9+ wins. He's got 4 bowl victories, right? He's got 3 ranked seasons in the AP top 25, 37-15 at Tennessee, 2 offenses in 2 out of the last 3 seasons in the SEC. This guy went from UCF to Tennessee. It wasn't like it was just like a one trick. He's got better consistently every year. You're looking at an offensive coach, right? So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, maybe 8 offensive guys since he's been at Tennessee have been drafted to the NFL. 2 quarterbacks. One guy's leg was shattered in 17 different places, still got drafted to the NFL. So obviously, you know, he knows what he's doing. That veer and shoot offense is really good. Jalen Hyatt got drafted to the NFL off, you know, Heupel's mind and what he puts out there for a scheme and how it goes. Because he went to the NFL and kind of disappeared, like a few of us here have said. But Heupel's offense, dude, it's got to be probably, I'll go top 6 to be generous, but it's got to be a top 6 college football offense when it comes to putting up points and offensive numbers. And to quote my man Boomer, he probably should have won the Heisman when it was his time. He got robbed.
Beautiful. Great job. So Josh Heupel, elite coach. Now, we did see a bit of a drop off when we seen Alex Golish take over the USF job, and now Joya Hazel, who's their offensive coordinator. We saw a little bit of a drop off. They came a little bit more of a physical team,
Still top offense though.
Yeah. Still a very elite offense.
Facts.
Coming to Boomer next.
With the run game.
What's that?
like with the run game, like they made like a obvious push this year to go like more run game
Well, I
because they
mean,
got Dylan
you got
Sampson.
there was
the SEC.
and this is
Gotta
my
be.
only question about him being elite as a head coach, because it's the
Mhm.
quarterback development. You gotta remember, he had two quarterbacks,
Yeah.
so transfers from different schools, right? One
For
came
sure.
from Louisville, one came from one came from Virginia Tech, and one came from Michigan. Correct? Am I
Joe
right there?
Milton. Yeah, Joe Milton.
Joe
Cam
Milton
Newton.
and Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker came from Virginia Tech, right? Virginia
Yeah,
Tech.
yeah.
Yeah. So
It's Tech
they were
probably
already
knows
kind of
some of that.
seasoned, developed slightly.
Mhm.
My guy was Nico. I had big hopes of him coming in. He's having issues, right? He's having issues throwing the ball to one side of the field. He's having issues throwing the ball deep, right? Short and intermediate game is kind of where he was his go-to. It's a lot of things have been hit for him, but I give him credit in the fact that when it wasn't working, he was able to pivot, right? Instead of keep going down this bumpy road of speed, but we're going to pivot this way, get to some smooth sand. We're going to run Dylan Sampson. He's got a lot of wear and tear on the tires. We're going to keep him going. I question some of the games, like, because there's some of the games where I think they could have made more of a statement. I think it was like week 12 or 11, where, like, I don't know, Dylan Sampson had like 2 carries in the first half, right? And they were trying to push Nico to get it going. And like, it's like, yo, use your identity, what it is. Second half, they go to Dylan Sampson, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns, carried them, ended up winning the game. But he has being able to make the adjustments. Things like Mac Brown and a couple coaches we've seen lately haven't been able to make that adjustments
Right.
moving down the stretch. Yeah, I think that Josh Heupel is an elite coach because what he's good at, he continues to get better. If there's a hiccup, then next year it's right back at it. He's the offensive-minded guy. His offense is always in that top 10, top 12 every year. So, yeah, I got to give him an elite.
I love it.
Props.
We're 2 for 2. We're elite coaches, and I got a feeling we not about to be 3 for 3. Let's talk about Dabo Swinney. We going solo the Boomer.
Listen, but before the transfer portal was created, Dabo Swinney absolutely elite. Dude was 2 championships, he been at the top. But my guy's got 3 transfer portals. 3. I'm sorry, you spend money to make money. And my guy's not ready to spend money. And I know I'm sitting back, I know I'm relaxing. But Dabo had got a little bit exposed this year. SMU should not play with Clemson. Just so we're clear, and it came down the wire. Didn't belong in the same stadium. No hate to SMU. No hate to SMU. But Clemson, who's been and won 2 national championships in our era just now, you're elite. Mac Brown was elite at one time. That dude got fired. So, Dabo, if you don't change your ways and get more than 3 transfer portals, you had 25 league. So, 3 ain't the number. The only 3 you're getting is 3 strikes. So, Dabo Swinney, no longer elite. Sorry, my guy. Hey, and if Brent Venables gonna do the same damn thing and start fucking stepping up, then he ain't elite either. Next.
Yo. Boomer not playing, bro. Coming right back to Nino, Brent Price, he elite coach or not?
Woo!
Brent Price, he elite.
Woo!
So we're gonna spin it, right? We're gonna go to a defensive-minded coach, right?
Mhm.
This is so fun.
What does he produce, right? What does he produce? He's put 2 gentlemen in the last 3 seasons, because none got drafted this past draft, 2024. He's put 2 in the NFL.
He'll get 1 in this year, maybe 2.
And you might have to go down a rabbit hole to see what their production in the NFL has been since they've been drafted. I don't know. It's hard to say. You know, as a coach, he's 16, 21 overall. But
next question.
But he's 10-3.
Who's your guy again, Nino?
Excuse me?
Who's your guy that you're talking about again?
I'm Pry.
Okay.
I think being a defensive-minded coach, I think he's doing a good job. But I don't think he's elite. And I'll be honest with you. I think he's slightly above average.
Facts.
Alrighty. So anybody who knows, Virginia Tech made me look extremely foolish last season.
Oh, go to the solo cam, please.
Virginia Tech made me look extremely foolish last season. one thing I do like about Brent Pry, and I will say this: he's a coach of us. He's the son of a coach. His pa's a coach who coached at the Division III and Division II level for a very long time. We've seen the success that Brent Pry had as the defensive coordinator at Penn State. I mean, hell, he coached Charles Tillman back in the day at a lower level. I'm just not sure if he has the stones enough. I wasn't happy with their offense last year, and at times their defense looked like hot garbage as well. It's put up a shut up time for Virginia Tech and Brent Pry. He's not an elite coach, and I hate saying it because he's my dog, but he's not an elite coach at all.
Hey, you can be a great defensive coordinator and be a mediocre head coach, right?
Brent Venables.
Stay in your lane.
Wow.
You know
Brent Venables caught astray.
I just, for me, he's not. I think as a defensive coordinator, he's probably top 20, top 25. You know what I mean? But when it comes to being a head coach, nah, not for me.
My dog agrees with you, Nino.
Hey.
Moon, talk to me about Jeff Brown. Another one of our guys.
I feel like Jeff Brown is elite as a coach. I feel like he has a philosophy, and I know his philosophy is it's definitely building and program building. Like, you can have success as a head coach, and it doesn't look like it does with wins and losses. Like, for example, like, I'm going to talk about him a little bit, like Jonathan Smith, for example. Jonathan Smith's record is 39-42 as a head coach. But you wouldn't really consider him as an elite one because winning percentage, but you have to look deeper past that to see the bigger picture. And I think with Jeff Brown, for me, I wouldn't even have to go in a major debate. I feel like he is elite. They paid him like he was elite. They wanted him to be there in Louisville to change the culture, get it back. You got it at the mud, disciplinarian. You want to send your kid to the right school and make the right choice and destination. He's gonna get the best out of your kid. You as a parent, when you talk about being on a recruiting trail, you want men that you can trust. When you talk about coaches, sometimes this coaching causes questionable. Sometimes the people he puts in power, it kind of can be questionable. But overall, I would give him the elite grade. And other people might not agree, but I just feel like he has a history of underachieving that kind of makes it skewed in a lot of ways. Just look at most recently with Louisville. That's my answer, Casey. I'm waiting on these rebuttals, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to say I want to hit some rebuttals. Boomer, Nino, what y'all think?
Listen, I love Jeff Brown. Like, I'm a huge fan. I mean, he's taken average players and beating some really good teams. Let's be real. I mean, it's hard to recruit at Louisville.
Shuck, the last 2 years at quarterback.
Just so we're clear, Louisville has, if not number one, top 5 transfer portal class, and that's wild.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's Louisville, dog. Like, I mean, I'm not hating. We're not talking about a top 16 SEC school here. We're not talking about a top 10 Big 12 or ACC team, but they're top 5, bar none, transfer portal class. That he did what he had to do this year, and golf clap. Sorry.
Hey, but don't do that to him.
My dog.
He is 85-52 as a head coach. He's 62 overall in bowl games.
What am I doing? Dude, balling.
He agree with you.
I agree with you. Balling. I'm a Jeff Brown fan. At Louisville, let's be real. If he was a top 5 transfer portal class in the SEC, we wouldn't say, "Hey, this dude's elite." Yeah. Bro, he's elite at Louisville. The fact you're elite at Louisville says something.
What you were saying.
Yeah.
He's as good as a coach as he was a quarterback. Facts.
Hold up a second. What the fuck do we put as elite? It's 134 fucking coaches in this college football game. Is he top 25? Top 30?
At where he's at, if I put him in the SEC, bro, that dude would be wrecking it.
He's at Purdue. He barely escaped with 2 wins over having a 500 record. Do we forget about that shit? Because at Louisville, he's been above 500.
Look what happened when he left.
He just took Louisville to the
What happened when he left? Let's not forget what happened when he left.
Purdue ain't been the same.
He had a 9-win and 8-win season. Prior to that, he barely had 6 wins for 4 straight years. Aiden O'Connell. They were 2-something with Aiden O'Connell. They didn't even throw for fucking 900 yards, bro. Well, let's not just take the recent success and put this motherfucker on the top of the charts. You want to say top 10 recruiter?
Come on.
Top 25 recruiter? Yeah, I'm with you. But to tell you this guy is an elite coach in college football right now. Holy shit.
He has a better winning record than most of these kids.
What, in the past 2 seasons, you trying to say?
I'm talking about overall as a head coach. His bowl game record by itself is 6-2. That has to account for something. Even if you can't say bowl games don't matter.
He won.
Bro.
I'm not.
The fact that he has to recruit against Kentucky says a lot. And that's in state.
We know what his identity is.
You're talking
as far as
recruiter. All I keep hearing about is recruiting.
That's hard. Isn't that college football?
That makes you an elite head coach because you can recruit your dick off. Just cram down, bro. You are
made me one in college football 25.
Like,
hey, you A10 wins in that division was crazy.
In the ACC?
Now, yeah.
Can he not?
I love.
Hey, we already talked about Dabo.
What happened? When did the ACC become this strong, dominant? I thought for the last 3 fucking seasons, all we talked about was the Big Ten and the SEC being the dogs, and everybody else just, sat on the porch and watched the big dogs eat. Now they're dominant and strong, huh?
But you just talked about the SEC.
It shouldn't belong in the fucking playoff. We were talking about Florida State wanting to leave the ACC because it's strong. What are we doing?
We got a coach that has won 2 championships in the ACC. However, he don't pick the transfer portal. At least Braum understands.
He understands. Look, how is it that Ja'Cory Brooks can go to Alabama, SEC, and not have no flourishing, but then Ja'Cory Brooks goes to Louisville, and now he's balling out with Tyler Shuck.
Why did Tyler Shuck leave Texas Tech, bro? Why did he leave Texas Tech? Why are we doing this shit, bro? We don't need clickbait, bro. This is
no. He can develop players. That's something that shouldn't be debated. Like, he can develop players. We can understand he can have a foundation that focuses on the basics.
Who did he develop, my man?
His offense is already a balanced attack offense, whether it's passing and running efficiently and effectively. He's done it with lower tier quarterbacks.
He developed an offense. He didn't develop the player, though. He's getting seasoned guys through the portal.
I'm just glad we're getting a meme next.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go to the net.
Hey, I love it.
I'm
man.
sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but
hey, nah, you good,
He
brother.
acting like he did.
I guess the criteria here is what percentage has to be elite.
What?
13%? Top? Is he? That's my question.
I'm being the top quarter. You got to be in the top quarter of college football coaching, right?
He took Purdue.
So that would be
to
top
Big Ten
30, top 35. He's a top 30 coach?
Probably, actually.
Yeah, he's a top 30 coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he went 30-10 at Western Kentucky. He took Purdue to a Big Ten championship.
One in what? 7 seasons? How about the first 4, bro?
He went 6 or 7 their first year.
And then what's next year? 4?
Dude, how many other teams have been Big Ten championship?
He was 28 and 36. He was 28 and 36.
We're talking about. I mean, honestly,
hey! In the early 2000s, mid 2000s, I think the Big Ten had more. It was more flavor than just being 2 teams that dominated for fucking 10 seasons, bro. Come on, bro. Like,
he just won Paul Bear.
I feel like that way. I feel like it's the same way right now.
All right, wait. Hey, Moon, and that's a great accolade. Now let's go look at the Paul Bryant Coach of the Year awards and see how many motherfuckers on that list are not elite. They had 1 elite year.
Okay.
So you're saying these 2 years?
He's had 2 good years. I'm saying at Louisville he's had 2 good years. Okay, recruiting. But you tried to tell me that the ACC is dominant for the last 2 years.
No. I didn't say ACC was dominant. I said as a coach, he has done more with less than a lot of other coaches. It's Louisville, dog.
It's Louisville. Okay.
That was up.
That's what I'm saying.
What's up, East Coast Gridiron?
I'm just saying, bro. Like,
He's done more with less. I mean, here's the facts. I'm gonna hate on Lincoln Riley real quick. What has he done with 5 stars?
Hey, chill.
That dude does not develop quarterbacks, and we have said this a dozen times over. If he ain't had a transfer quarterback, they ain't been a dude. He ain't done nothing. I'll name 5 right off the top of the rip: Baker, Kyler, Jalen, right? Caleb, Miley. Next, he ain't developed a dude yet.
who's Jeff Brom developed? Aiden O'Connell.
Hey, all I know.
We gonna put our money on Aiden O'Connell as being a guy that makes.
I wouldn't say that. I just think he has done more with less.
What about Brett Lashley done more with less? We can go down a list of guys who've done more with less. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate here. But like, yo, it seems as though
I'm here for it.
A lot of excuses on why this guy like should kind of be elite instead of there should just be a facts as to why he's fucking elite. Oh, he's done more.
He went 12-1.
He what?
He went 12-1.
When?
He got to Louisville.
10 years? 12-1?
Bro.
No, he went 10-4 and 9-4.
Bro.
He hasn't gone 12-1 ever. He went
Purdue,
12-2 in 2015, bro.
That's what we're talking about with Purdue. Purdue will
Purdue
never sniff. Purdue will never sniff the Big Ten championship. No time soon.
I mean,
he's
the fact he went to
hope. At that time, there was parity in the Big Ten, bro. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Right now, if he was at Purdue, they would be a 6-fucking-win team. Maybe, bro. And you and I know that.
But put respect on Purdue and tell people what they were last year and see why the point is why I'm saying he's an elite coach. He would increase their win total.
Okay. To mediocrity, bro. He would increase their win total to mediocrity. You put an elite coach in a shitty situation, I think they got to come out of mediocrity. That's what an elite coach is meant to do, right? Like, you put Ryan Day at Purdue. You don't think you're going to win more than what they won last year? You don't think you're going to bring in way more fucking recruiting than Brown brings in? I don't give a shit if he was in East Timbuk-2.
Dude, I just love the fact we're 47 minutes in. We're not even halfway through this.
I think what Brom is really good at is he's good with the have-nots. People who are castaways, people who've been looked upon as afterthoughts. He's been able to find success with them. I think what he is elite at is being able to get players out of the portal. I thought Jack Plummer was done. You guys already know how I feel about the kid. What's the kid from Texas Tech? Tyler Shuck. So I think that's a hell of a stat. Louisville receivers were number 1 in the drop percentage in 2024.
No help.
Work. Yeah,
and they still beat Clemson on the road.
Overreaction Monday is brought to you by BetUS. If you use the code CFB guess what, guys? You can get a 125% match from BetUS. The code is CFB Nation. Use that. Like I said, they'll match your first deposit. So let's get into this next one. Kenny Dillahan, Boomer, talk to us.
Bro, my dude went from a quarterback coach in high school to Auburn, right? Memphis, Arizona State. He was at Arizona State as an offensive assistant, right? And then went to Auburn, Florida State, Oregon, which let's be real. Bo Nix, absolute dude. Really done a lot there. My man Nino has been on Bo Nix since I was not an Auburn dude when Bo Nix was there. Honestly, it's probably Gus Malzahn's fault. Really did well at Oregon. Goes to Arizona State, who was picked last, absolutely last in the Big 12 preseason. The fact you even won 10 games is saying something. Then you make the playoffs. Then you gave Texas, who a lot of people picked as their number 1 in most college football playoffs. That dude took a lot of players from the transfer portal, community college. My man Nino's been on the running back from the get, by the way. He made a team that literally shouldn't have made the playoffs, shouldn't have won 6 games, let alone 10 or 12, and made them an elite college football playoff program team this fast is wild to me. I mean, the Sun Devil is back. it ain't been back since Jake Plummer left. Just so we're clear, like that, Jaden Daniel was there and was a dude at LSU. He was average overall at Arizona State. This is a Heisman Trophy winner, was average at Arizona State. Comes there at Arizona State with after Tony Dungy, damn near got the death penalty and takes them to the absolute elite of college football. If we can't say this dude's an elite recruiter, coach, in front of the mic, that dude gave it with his wife next to him, absolutely spitting bars to everybody in national television, didn't stutter, didn't give it a beat, let everybody know, hey, we're here to stay. Listen, if it's a 1-year wonder, it's still pretty awesome. But if he keeps them in the top of the Big 12, and believe me, it's tough because I was a hater all freaking season. I don't think they can beat Arizona State can beat BYU. And they I absolutely dog walked them boys. And my Nino said it, like, listen, the dog walk's coming. I wasn't ready for it because my man Kenny Dillingham is an absolute dude. Elite, not yet. Above average, absolutely.
Yo, real quick. Kenny Dillingham has done more in my eyes with less than Jeff Brom has.
I agree. I absolutely agree, by the way.
Just
so if you know what? I'm here for it.
Let's see
elite.
Let's see
elite.
Let's see year 2 before we make that.
A quarterback coach, the absolute dude. First year.
I like it though.
Hey, shout out to Arizona State. They friends in the network too, man. Can't wait to see y'all this year.
I enjoy Big 12 football.
Hey, real quick though, to prove another thing to just throw in there, my guy. Was it Jeff Brom that made Tyler Shuck better, or was it Tyler Shuck not being hurt that made himself better?
Oh, bars.
Flames.
I'm gonna need you to hold back. Hold back, dog. Hold back.
Hold on. Jack Palmer had his most success at Louisville. I guess Tyler Shuck had his most success at Louisville, but it was an accident.
Ja'Cory Brooks had his best success at Louisville.
It was an accident.
Yeah, but Ja'Cory Brooks.
Hey, Tyler Shuck had a good season at Texas Tech before the injury.
When he threw the game away against Oregon, when they were winning, he just started throwing interceptions. That game.
One game. You want to take the one game out of the other 9 that he played that were good?
Did he play 9 good games?
I don't know. I think it was a good half the season at least. He played at least half the season.
It probably was half the season. Texas.
Hey, don't talk about one game. I got hate. You know how much hate I got on AR for one game?
He was Texas Tech fan that year, and they did him dirty.
I was.
So that's why he hates.
Yeah, I can't stand Texas Tech for that.
That's why.
The hell with Texas Tech. Moon, Jonathan Smith.
Yo, Jonathan Smith is not elite, but he's definitely on the pathway to becoming that. I feel like during his time, most people don't know, like he's the coach now at Michigan State. And before that, he spent time at Oregon State, and he didn't beat Oregon. Start by saying that, but he did have a 10-win season in 2022, which is very fire. And that's the first time that they did that in school history. Only the third time that they did it in school history, going 10 wins in the season. So that allowed him to propel to new heights and get the Michigan State job. Now it's still early to kind of tell where he is, but recruiting has been a nice little pitch. He can present to different recruits and stuff out there. But I will say he's on the pathway to becoming elite because he's known for building strong relationships with his players, with his staff, and with the community, having a process-driven approach that I particularly love. And he's going to emphasize toughness everywhere they go. Oregon State, he clearly had a philosophy when he was there. Here we go. And he goes deep in.
This dude said building strong relationships. Bill Clinton built a strong relationship.
Bro, look, you have to do that in college football. You have to. You have to. Ask Ed Ogeron if he need to build strong relationships.
Yeah, where's that dude at?
On the sidelines, watching with the rest of us. He's not in there.
Dude went from national champs to sitting on the sideline.
Yo,
that was a bad example, dog.
It is a great example because you need
win seasons than he does win seasons, bro.
I already talked about his recruiting. And I already
This dude is the key of average coaches. Just so we're clear.
I didn't
Hey, you
call
know
him
what? Hey, if we're calling him elite, then my guy at Texas State is elite, and he might be.
We're not talking about.
He didn't say he was
CJ.
elite.
He never
He
said
was
he was
on the
elite.
road to be.
I never say he was elite.
On the road, this dude's on the road to kicking rocks.
Bro, he's on the road to becoming elite.
He has a chance to be.
Y'all gonna grill me for trying to give a positive outlook on the coach?
Hey, I'm here for a positive outlook. He's just on the road out.
I'm
He
just
on the
saying,
road out.
my thing is,
He's not on the yellow brick road, is all I'm saying.
Nobody is on the yellow brick road in the world of college football.
I mean, I would disagree with that.
here's my question all to you. When did the recruiting aspect put you in this realm of being elite? Because hold on, because I know there's some of the teams have recruiters that are so good that they're better at defensive coordinators or DB's coach or running backs coach. When is the recruiting made you so that it put you in talk of being an elite coach? I thought that had separated you from the pack of dogs is when you were an elite, recruiter. Like when Nick Saban, when there was a talk, there was like 4 or 5 coaches that were really good. Nick Saban stood out of those 4 or 5 coaches because he was the dude of elite recruiting. Like when you're banking on your recruiting being your number one, same thing I say about quarterbacks. When you're banking on your legs being your number one asset, I don't know if that particularly puts you in the elite conversation or even in that category. I know you said he's on the road to, but when you have
I never said that recruiting was his number one.
I'm not going at you.
I said his. Oh, okay.
I'm saying, like we said, recruiting for a few coaches here was the strongest asset.
But it matters, bro. It does matter.
If you can recruit your ass off, but you can't get over the hump, what does that matter?
What would Ryan Day be without Brian Hartline?
Nothing.
Oh.
Nothing. My man Brian Hartline's a dude, by the way.
Then why can't Brian Hartline get a job, bro?
Brian Hartline.
No. Dead facts.
No. Brian Hartline is elite. He's elite at recruiting. Facts.
He's
elite.
But you asked the question. Why is recruiting?
Bro, have you ever been to Ohio?
Wait, no. I'm asking the recruiting thoughts. Why is that aspect? Why we keep talking to coaches and being elite, but we keep saying for these guys that are like, might be on the fence. Their strongest asset is recruiting. Man,
but Jonathan Smith.
I'm not trying to be rude. I'm gonna bring this up again. Have you been to Ohio? Cleveland is terrible.
Let him finish, bro. And it's not in college football. It ain't fucking terrible. Cleveland Browns might be terrible, but not in college football. Moon, go ahead, bro.
No, I was just gonna bring up to the pack. Like he did give Nick Marsh. Like that he convinced him to come to Michigan.
wait. Now my question to you is: did he convince him to come to Michigan, or did Aiden Childs help the convincing part?
That had a little bit to do with it, but you're gonna need a quarterback in order to win.
Now, my other thing is he developing Aiden Childs? Has Aiden Childs seem to have gotten better in 2 seasons on the Jonathan Smith?
Hey, if I let you tell it, we're gonna have to wait and see. So I don't know.
Not from what I see.
This past year,
I put Jonathan
it's up and downs.
Jonathan Smith is my poor man's version of James Franklin, bro.
Poor man's James Franklin.
Poor man's
James Franklin's poor, so how poor is that?
No, I'm just saying, like what has James Franklin won?
Nothing.
Not even a fucking door prize, bro.
That's what I'm saying. If he's a poor man, what's James Franklin?
Like top coach, right? We put James Franklin in this top. I wish this one was on. Like, because is James Franklin elite to you guys?
No.
He's better than James. Is he better than Jeff Brom? Because if you want to talk recruiting, I'm going to take a seat.
Hey, it's much easier to recruit at Penn State than Louisville, Kentucky.
I don't give a shit where you go. I don't give a shit, bro. We're not going to do this. We're not. It's easier to, you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to do what school you're at. It's easier to recruit to. You got to get them there, and they got to perform.
It matters.
If I take the top 10 traditional football programs, right? That include Michigan, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Penn State, USC.
Yeah, but Penn State is a reset button, bro, for like 5 years, so that don't count.
Better than Louisville.
Yes, I agree that they're better than Louisville, but you're saying because he goes.
I'll take all 16 teams in the SEC over recruiting-wise. It's easier to recruit there.
Jeff Brom, James Franklin, you switch them. Which team has a better outcome?
Penn State, by far.
You think they win the same amount of games?
They win more.
Yes.
Louisville will lose a lot more games. I can tell you that.
I don't think that Penn State would even be in the conversation for a top 10 team.
I would disagree.
What?
I would disagree.
No, you
100%.
really just don't like Jeff Brom, bro?
I don't think
You just don't. Dude, you're the one. Hey, I love you, Nino. You're the one that hates James Franklin.
I hate Jeff Brom. I hated him before he went to Louisville, and I stand on it, bro. He's not that good. I said it the day he got hired. He got hired because there was nobody fucking left. When the coach's circle got hired, 2023, there was nobody fucking left. He got hired by default because Louisville's coach took a better fucking opportunity. That is what happened. He got success in 2 seasons, and now all of a sudden, right, you tear down. Nobody wanted you. You fall into it, and you go into a tear down bracket, and you have success. And now we want to say the ACC was strong. The ACC was difficult. They had battles. But we were just talking about the ACC being chumps, bro. And we can't retract it. But I'll say on the same anthill. I'll play the same flag, whether it burns in the ground. I do not like Jeff Brom. I do not think Jeff Brom is a elite or even on any yellow brick road with Toto fucking go see the Wizard of Oz by any chance. He ain't waving to Lincoln Riley. He ain't waving to James Franklin, bro. He's sitting on a couch with a book in his hand trying to get better because he's on the outside looking in.
I'd take Jeff Brom over James Franklin all day, just so we're clear.
Me too. Twice on Saturdays.
And again on Sundays.
Okay.
Wow. Damn. That I'm scared to ask Nino who he think how he feel about this guy.
No, we gotta keep it going.
Eli Drinkwitz, Nino, talk to me, man.
Oh my.
Another guy that it's supposed to be an offensive minded guy, right?
Uh-oh. He about to crucify us.
Why is it that we put guys on pedestals when they get like 5-star recruits that can ball their fucking dicks off? Why?
Lincoln Riley.
Why? And why do we let it just slide for some guys and not for others? You mentioned the names. I'm going to stay in the same plane, bro. Who have you brought in as a quarterback and developed? Brady Cook been there, bro. You as a head coach and your fans about 475 days ago tried to boo this man out the fucking building, but you couldn't because he's resilient and he's a dude. He's a football player. And what did he do? He kept winning, right? And now he got the team's trust, and they say, all right, this kid getting dogged, and they're still behind him. The coaches have don't want, and he's still doing it, right? He's only been good for 2 seasons. All of a sudden, Luther Burden's there. Luther Burden emerged, and he's good. What happened the 3 years before? Crickets. He was not.
I'll tell you what happened before.
Yeah, right. Hey,
Josh Heupel.
Thank you, my man. Coattails. He's a coattail rider. App State 1 year had a great whoop-de-doo. Now all of a sudden, Eli Drinkwitz is the guy. He's better at making fucking memes than he is at being a head coach, bro. Go say some stupid shit to put your ass on ESPN because that is what you are. You are a talking clown head that takes the benefit of your players. You are the top 3 coach in the fucking SEC.
Get him.
I'm sorry, it's been a while, man. I'm hot.
Get him. Y'all ever seen how high? Y'all know I was like, get him.
Eli was talking a lot of spicy last year, talking about Missouri deserves to be in the college football playoff after Missouri also then has said losses on home. Never mind.
Hey, the fact you actually beat Oklahoma is even wild to me because Oklahoma was trash last year, and
they didn't score against Alabama,
bro.
Oh, another thing.
Hey, 23-6. So just real quick.
We're talking about games that count, games that matter. He's 500. I'm not elite coaches aren't just 500.
My man Nino absolutely said, if Missouri loses this season, it's the coach's fault. Preseason, go pull the tape. My guy absolutely said this because Nino said from the get-go, Missouri will be in the playoffs because, one, they have the easiest schedule in college football. If they lose more than 2 games, the coach should be fired.
They had
everything I said.
That dude's trash.
Everything I said about games and teams is going to beat themselves up. Ole Miss, Georgia, and yes, if they did their fucking job as coaches, right? Missouri should have been the winner in the SEC.
Dude, the The fact that Oklahoma was in that game with 7 wide receivers out, 3 offensive linemen out, 4 defensive linemen out, and a defensive back out is wild. It should have been a blowout. And it came down to the wire.
The guy that's offensive mind as a coach, they struggle to be in the top 5 in a lot of offensive statistical categories. Hey, SEC, never mind the country.
He was offensive mind when Heupel was there.
All right, y'all. I got our next one, and I want y'all to answer on a count of 3. I'm gonna say the coach. Count of 3, you guys answer. Lane Kiffin. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yes.
Not elite.
If you not elite. Wait. You just said the top 30 is elite, right? Jeff Brom's elite, but Lane Kiffin's not.
Yes, I would say Lane Kiffin is elite, bro.
Thank you. You can't go by. Hey, Mubo.
I'm not going by your metric. I'm going by my own.
I'm talking about Mubo. by your metric, bro, he has to be elite. If top 30 is elite, he has to be elite. He's a top 30 team every year he's coached.
Who's better, Lane Kiffin or Lincoln Riley?
Lane Kiffin.
You said who?
Lane Kiffin and Lincoln Riley. Who's better?
You talking coaches or are you talking offensive mind?
Lane Kiffin.
No, offensive mind ain't even close, by the way.
Right.
But
Lane Kiffin.
I'm talking defensive coordinator, absolute head coach. Who's a better head coach?
Lane Kiffin.
I agree.
No, Lane Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin, yeah.
Who's a better offensive mind?
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, I think we agree. Okay, yeah. Who's a better head coach, Chip Kelly or Lane Kiffin?
Lane Kiffin.
Oh no.
Chip.
Who's the better offensive mind? Chip Kelly?
No, offensive mind, I'll agree with you. It's Lane Kiffin. Who's a better head coach?
Wait, you taking Lane Kiffin offensive mind over Chip Kelly?
I think Chip Kelly's a better offensive mind. Chip Kelly's a way better offensive mind, in my opinion.
I don't think so.
Lane Kiffin's a better coach overall.
I disagree. My man Chip Kelly took Cincinnati, Notre Dame, and LSU to a top level. Tell me what Lane Kiffin do. Got fired at Oakland, got fired at USC. Did Chip Kelly ever get fired?
Oh, so me and you on the same side then. I would pick
he was going to get fired. He quit.
Sorry. Not Chip Kelly. So who's the head coach at LSU?
Oh, Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly. Not Chip Kelly. Who's better head coach? Brian Kelly or Lane Kiffin?
Ooh. See, that's a different ballgame.
Oh, okay.
It ain't even close.
I thought you were talking about my guy Chip.
Sorry.
Dang, I gotta go back to Oregon days.
Chip is tough. That might be a toss-up, by the way.
I think we were all.
But head coach Brian Kelly or Lane Kiffin?
Brian Kelly, because he's won more.
By far, it ain't even close. By the way, it's not even close.
You got a young
at 3 different programs.
Yeah, you got a young cat versus a seasoned vet. Like, it's kind of tough to compare in that situation.
Well, it don't matter if you're a young cat or seasoned vet.
He been at 3 programs, so
he's been at 3 programs and won in 3 programs.
They both emerged around the same time, so
yeah, they're both
it's a fair comparison.
One guy hasn't been run out the building.
I'm not a Brian Kelly guy. I don't like people who aren't true to themselves. He went down with the freight.
Hey, just because he's fake as shit, don't make him a great head coach. Because that dude has won at Cincinnati, Notre Dame, and LSU. When all of us, by the way, when he went to LSU, would fail. And love or hate it, they've been good there.
He gonna have to get it right this year. They're gonna be sitting here. It's gonna be talking about some depth.
Raise your hand if Nussmeier's a top 5 Heisman favorite.
Come on. Hey,
okay then.
Before we move on to the next one, right? The next topic, Marcus Freeman or Brian Kelly?
Brian Kelly. Sorry.
What? Okay. You're gonna.
I'm sorry. Hey, no. I'm sorry. You're not going to give me 1 year of winning. Sorry. If we're going to go 1 year winning, we might as well say Lincoln Riley was elite always.
I feel like this question shouldn't even be asked for real.
Lincoln Riley won because of Bob Stoops. Facts.
That's a damn good question.
At least I'll tell this truth. At least when Marcus Freeman got to the big stage, he actually won.
Dude, what are you talking about? He took Notre Dame to top 4.
And they got waxed by Alabama.
We are talking about Alabama, one of the greatest programs of all time, with arguably the greatest head coach of all time, right?
If you're a baller,
you said what? You said one coach, Alabama. We agree. Saban is arguably the GOAT, right, in college football.
I don't think it's
This
arguable.
Next question.
He's the
How
GOAT.
many
Next
playoff
question.
how many playoff wins did Notre Dame have in their first season?
So you're telling me he's not good because Chip Kelly wasn't there 2 years ago? 2 years ago, by the way?
No, we're not talking about Chip Kelly. We're just talking about Marcus Freeman.
Yeah, that recruiting class is whose?
We're talking
Brian Kelly's, right? That recruiting class is whose?
I asked
Yeah,
you.
it's Brian Kelly.
Okay, thanks. Hey, I'll tell you what. When everybody leaves in 2 years, let's have this.
People already started leaving. They've been started leaving after the national championship game. But my thing is, I said, how many wins did how many wins did Marcus Freeman have in this past season with Notre Dame?
Hey,
Playoff?
didn't you say after North should have been trash?
Wait, say it again.
Didn't you say after Northern Illinois was done that he should have been out?
Oh, I was grilling him with Northern Illinois. He made Northern Illinois leave to go to the Mountain West because they started feeling themselves. That's his fault.
Did Northern Illinois beat them?
Yes, Northern Illinois.
100%.
I have not let them off the hook.
Just like Marshall beat him a couple years ago. Boom, I do have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Can Brian Kelly win at LSU and have a deep playoff run?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's LSU, bro. It's
for sure.
You ever been to New Orleans? I mean, my God, I'm going.
Big Easy, yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And that's why.
Yeah.
There's certain places you just go to, right? You go to Miami, you go to USC, you go to Ohio State because of the tradition, right? You go to Alabama because of the tradition, not because you love it there. You go to New Orleans because guess what?
It's a bad place to be.
It's a bad. Hey, everybody wants to New Orleans, right?
Hey.
And Baton Rouge is right there.
Moon, you said I shouldn't have said the question, but when you come to the stage and your first head coaching gig ever, and you go 33-10, he didn't get 7-8 years at Grand Valley State like Brian Kelly did before he went to Cincinnati. You
talking about Brahmy?
I'm talking about Brian Kelly versus Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman's first head coaching job was Notre Dame. He's 33-10. I don't like the guy, but numbers don't lie. It took Brian Kelly 7 years at Grand Valley State before he got a gig at Cincinnati. Yes, out the gate, he won 11 games, but he had 7 years of experience prior to that. My man got off the jump, the young hot cat, right? You know what I mean? And winning, bro.
Yeah,
if you look at trajectory, my man's trajectory about to blow Brian Kelly's out the water.
We punish him for the NIU loss, and I still haven't forgiven him about that. But they handled business against what you needed to, against Army, against later in the year.
Everybody, do me a favor, put your boxing gloves on because this next one gonna start a few fights.
Hey, shout out to our sponsors.
shout out to the guys, Bet US. Alrighty, Billy Napier, Boomer. He elite coach.
Listen,
I can see Nino.
I was a hater.
Me too.
I was a hater.
I'm eating crow too. I'm eating crow with you, bro. Yes, me too.
I'm absolute hater. Listen, and it's tough to play at Florida, period. Mm-hmm. Listen, ever since Steve Spurrier was there, every coach after that trying to step. You can't. It's hard. I mean, love or hate it, Steve Spurrier's a dude. Mm-hmm. Absolute one of the greatest coaches in college football history. You know, especially at Florida. Man, absolute dude. Listen, I was a hater. Now, I did say I'm a massive fan of DJ Lagway. By the way, my Heisman favorite.
Yep.
Shout out to my guy Nino right above me. He said, listen, Napier is going to right this ship. And I was like, listen, dog. That's thinking, listen. It's thinking. But my man Nino stayed on track.
It was Nino. It was, man.
I would love to say that he's elite, right? Mm-hmm. I think he's right on the road to being there, right? Because he was smart enough, and we said this, listen, you're at a bad point where Graham Mertz isn't the guy. So you need to put DJ Lagway and find out what you got. We said this from the get-go. Me and Nino both was like, hey, you as well. Listen, we need to find out if you're going to find out if this guy's the dude. And Lagway, the dude. And shout out to my guy Nino. He changed my mind on this. I'm not a Napier guy. He's not elite. It's hard for me to put you in elite category. but what he did when it mattered most, they won.
Mhm.
Hey, winning changes everything. Ask Ryan Day. Calling for that dude's job. Winning matters most.
Mhm.
So elite, not yet. Above average, 100%.
Hey, you remember when I said earlier about who was it? It was either Brom or Jonathan Smith, and I said that they were on the road to go in there. I feel like I'm gonna change that. They might be on the roundabout, but I feel like Billy Napier actually is on the road.
He's on the road.
Yeah.
So to add to what Boomer said, this is what made I think Nino have the take of the year. It wasn't just that he said Florida wasn't cooked, even though I thought he was smoking good Buddha and I wanted him to pass the Buddha this way. It was the fact, it was how he said it was going to happen. He said, well, DJ Lagway will buy him another year. Graham Mercer get benched. He was ultimately injured. And that DJ Lagway will buy. That was the thing that bothered me the most about his take. Like that. He ruined my take of the year with that shit. And that shit still pisses me off, bro. Go ahead, Nino.
Yo, so again, by the metric that we like to measure in this coaching aspect,
I know. Let me get my goddamn gloves.
We want to talk about previous success. Yep. He was a damn good coach at Lafayette, right? Really damn good coach there. Yes, he's 500 at Florida. One thing I said beginning of the season, he needs to get to his guys. It took him 2 years to get rid of the trash. Florida was below the swamp, bro. They were the muck. They were the bottom feeders for a little bit, right? He had to get rid of the muck and get his guys to come in. Now that his guys are in there, top 10 recruiting class and back-to-back years.
Yes.
So recruiting, if we're going to go with the recruiting aspect, this guy's better than any of the guys we talked about in recruiting for 2 consecutive seasons, correct? So fuck the road to success. My man got the door cracked open to be an elite. He's at the door knocking. There might be 1 or 2 guys in front of him, but he's not starting the road. He's got the door cracked, and if he has another year of success, I call success because Florida last year was a success.
It was an absolute success.
Said that they were trash. He was getting fired. They wouldn't win more than 3 games.
Toughest schedule I've seen in years.
Bowl eligibility, kept it cooking. DJ Lagway looked like he consistently got improved as we went on, right? My man's at the door knocking again.
Can we have fun real quick?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Lagway or AR?
Lagway,
bro. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Y'all remember? Y'all remember when I got ate up for that?
You did get, you did. You did.
Hey, my guy went 50% this year. Just so we're clear.
Yo, I got.
By the way, not my guy.
Yeah,
for the same guy on his team. I got 8 up the year before, or maybe the year before about Damian Pierce, bro. I got 8 up, but you can't find a guy talking about Damian Pierce a year and a half later.
Facts. Jinx.
Man, I love talking about coaches, man.
Hey,
Dude, AR is so trash.
That segment was beautiful, and I'm glad I got coaches on thumbnail. We gave them an hour and I think 20 minutes under.
Don't say we didn't talk about you.
Alrighty, so give me your way too early national champion, and let's do it in 2 sentences or less. Nino, who's your 2026 national champion? Way too early.
Wow.
This
is a tough one. A lot of moving parts of these top teams. I'm going to go with a homer pick here. I'm going to go Oregon. I think Dante Moore sitting a year, transferring back to the school where he originally wanted to be at, sitting a year behind Dylan Gabriel, being able to learn the process, the scheme, the system, what it takes to be, a leader. They got a running back to replace the running back that they lost back years, Bucky, and then James. Now you have Malachi Hughes coming out of Tulane. Evan Stewart's back. Maybe Jerry and Dickey takes a step. They have Decorian Moore. It's going to be a 5-star study. He could be their Jeremiah Smith. They have plenty of talent on the defensive side of the ball. They keep getting
Pleasant.
So
come on, man.
I think
Dan Lanning is my favorite coach.
Yeah, Dan Lanning is a top 5 coach in college football.
Agreed.
I'm gonna go. I think Oregon is my way too early pick. I think even with a I'm gonna go first year starter because he was kind of not really the guy. It was like they were riding a hot hand when he was at UCLA his freshman season. He only got like 5 games where he actually started.
And then Grandma gave Chip Kelly the business, boy.
Yeah, I think Dante Moore will be able to. You're going to see 3 years back to back success in Eugene with quarterbacks.
Boomer, way too early. 2026 champion.
Bro, this is so tough for me. I said from the get go, I think I called Ohio State win national championship. So I think it was the best team money could buy. I think I said that.
They spent a lot of money in the portal.
Ridiculous, absolutely crazy.
Players even putting up money, like that's when you have truly built a family.
100%. I think they have 3 of the best wide receivers in football. I think 2 of them are. Mecca's going to be a first round draft pick. Texas is the most overrated team. Sorry, in football. Listen, I love Arch Manning, huge fan. Don't think Quinn Ewers is the guy. This is a very tough one for me. I've been talking about different teams and what I thought would be. I think we see a back-to-back in Ohio State.
Great pick.
With Julian Sayin at quarterback?
Huh?
With Julian Sayin at quarterback?
Listen, I don't think it matters because that defense is elite. I think you know as well as I do, like you can have an average quarterback, Will Howard, with an elite wide receiver quarterback, elite wide receiver core, and be elite.
They had the number 1 defense in the country. They're losing 2 or more players at every level on defense.
I agree, but who had the best recruiting class in football?
It was Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Offensively or defensively, my friend?
Both.
They had the top recruiting class on both sides of the ball. You sure about that?
I would say overall, yes.
Okay. I think they were more heavy on the offense.
I'm a huge. Let's be real. I think Oklahoma has made phenomenal moves. If they even make a sniff at 10 wins, good for them. And I think they had one of the best moves in quarterbacks because I think if John Mateer does what he did last year, he'll win the Heisman. Facts in the SEC. It is what it is. But I don't think they win 10 wins because I think it's tough. Argue that later, obviously. But it's hard to say that Ohio State is going to drop off that far. In general, I think we all agree the transfer portal has changed the game. Yes. Ohio State has done well. I'll tell you who hasn't done well. A team that won't be in the national championship picture or playoff picture in the ACC is Clemson.
Hey, hold on. Ohio State, like I understand they're a juggernaut. They're coming off the national championship. They're gonna go pretty much outside of wide receiver, tight end, running back, and quarterback are gonna be inexperienced first-year starters outside of C.J. Donaldson, who's came in and transferred, who has health concerns, and we don't see offensively them skipping a beat.
Listen. I don't know about you, but were you Will Howard like, hey, this dude's going to lead them to a national championship? Because I watched him at Kansas State. That dude doesn't throw the ball; he runs the ball.
But he threw the ball in Ohio State, and it wasn't.
Agreed. But when you and I both talked about this? Did you think Will Howard was going to throw for 2,500 yards alone?
I wasn't sure what Will Howard I was going to get. It wasn't like he was trash. Like it wasn't like this guy was throwing for less than 2,000 yards when he was at Kansas State.
But was he a national championship caliber quarterback?
Bro, the year before he threw for 2,700 yards and 24 touchdowns, like at Kansas State. That's
okay.
Garbage to you?
I would argue that's below average for college football. If I haven't looked at the stats, but I'm pretty sure that the average is above 2,800 and above 27.
I would like to see what the Big 12 standings, like who were the leader in the Big 12s in 2023 quarterback-wise, where Will Howard ranked. I think you might be a little surprised. I'm not saying the kid was nails. I'm just saying when you took the product of mediocrity and then upped the talent around him and protecting him up front, he won some of them games for Ohio State down the stretch.
On his feet.
No, he won. He made what? Listen, in the beginning of the season, it was Jeremiah Smith making catches. The last couple games of the regular season in that playoff, Will Howard made some throws, my man. I said this multiple times. Will Howard made a bag for himself through the whole playoff process. Will Howard went in and found his Bo Nix, his best version of Bo Nix in that playoff, bro, and he was dialing it up. It wasn't a Mecca and Jeremiah Smith just making wild catches. They were getting the ball put in the hands, in stride, down the sideline, in the end. Mecca had 3 catches where that dude didn't even have to slow down, bro, for a touchdown.
We agree that Mecca's a number one, a first-round draft pick, right?
Yeah, but to say that Will Howard is garbage, I don't know. I think I'd rather have Will Howard than Spencer Rattler. I'd rather have, right now, I'd rather have Will Howard than Kenny Pickett.
Hey, just so we're clear, I just want to bring it up for you. Let me bring up the passing stats for the Big 12. Dylan Gabriel, number 1. Ewers, number 2. Alan Bowen, number 3. Rocco Beck, number 4. Donovan Smith, number 5. John Plumlee, number 6. Josh Hoover, number 7. Will Howard, number 8.
Will Howard was number 6. Oh, pass completions. I'm sorry. Yeah, passing yards. But they had 3 guys go over 3,000, dude. And he was 6. He had 43. He was 6 overall.
Only one quarterback in the Big 12 went under 62% in the Big 12. One
quarterback?
Was that Sawyer?
He was 61.3.
It was Garrett Green.
Emory Jones was 61. There was 2
Garrett
guys in front
Green,
of him at
West
62.1. It's not like this dude was like so far away from the guys in the pack. I mean, 0.2 separates you drastically in completion percentage.
Dude, Jason Bean went 62.3. He was the backup at Kansas State or Kansas.
He wasn't a backup. He started most of the season, bro, because Jalen Daniels.
That's because Jalen Daniels got hurt.
Right, but Jason Bean was better than Jalen Daniels what the previous season. We've already had this discussion, and we have agreed.
I'm not trying to be. I'm going to stay with this. Will Howard had 2,600 yards passing. 5 quarterbacks better than him in the Big 12.
Oh, okay, that's fine. You made it seem like he was bottom of the barrel in every category. He's a middle of the pack.
Question: do you know who Donovan Smith is?
Yeah, he's a quarterback for Houston. He's actually really good and would have been a top quarterback probably this year if he didn't get hurt.
Okay, Rocco Beck,
yeah, top quarterback for Iowa State. Led them this year again. We can keep going if you want.
I mean, I know you know who these guys are, but we agree. Are these guys better than Will Howard?
Rocco Beck, probably. But he was a better prospect coming out of college.
I'm going to continue to say this. The reason why Will Howard was great is because his wide receiver core made him great. He was an average quarterback. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going against you here. What I'm saying is his wide receiver core made him great. We also agree their wide receiver core is going to be great next year, right?
Boomer, Will Howard's best receiving target was Ben Sinnott, homie. A tight end was the best guy he had to throw the ball to in 2023. Like he was behind the 8 ball a lot, bro. Like the talent level when you have Jeremiah Smith and Mecca, Cornell Tate, Brandon Innes is better than any guy Kansas State had on the field, bro. So yeah, he's gonna get a bump in that, but it's also gonna let you show how good he could be when he's surrounded by better talent.
Question for you, Nino: who you rather have? Would you rather have Will Howard or Kyle McCord?
Kyle McCord.
Okay.
I'm just saying Will Howard isn't
he's definitely improved a lot in my mind.
I think Will Howard may have a better.
I thought that they made a mistake by getting rid of Kyle McCord and bringing in Will Howard. I'm not gonna lie. He's
I agree.
What were you about to say, Nino?
I was gonna say I think. Let me try to check it real quick.
Okay, yeah, do your thing.
I think
this is a great conversation.
You said Will Howard or Kyle McCord, right? That was you said. I said Kyle McCord. So we're looking at this draft class, right?
Mm-hmm.
For quarterbacks. I mean, just
where's Will Howard? You should also plug the new show you're gonna be doing on our platform.
With me and Michael Anthony, we're doing Road to the Draft. Actually, first week will be Thursday. This Thursday coming up, we're talking about quarterbacks outside of the top 2. We're talking about 3 to 5. We're gonna be talking about landing spots. We're gonna be doing this guy, that guy. So every week, 9 weeks out. So every week we've been doing a little bit. We'll touch all the offensive, positions, and we'll end up with some defensive positions as well. But if you fantasy guys, dynasty guys, C2C guys, you might want to check this out. Talk about value and what we like about him. Will Howard. Yeah, this is exactly what I think. Tyler Shuck is okay, but I think Will Howard could possibly have a longer NFL career than Dylan Gabriel, right? I think he could have a longer NFL career than Curtis Brock. Obviously, I think he's going to have a way longer career than Riley Leonard, right? So if we had to take Riley Leonard or Will Howard, who are you taking? I'm taking Will Howard.
It's a tough one. For me, I think Will Howard's basically Chase Daniel, which isn't a bad thing, by the way.
Chase Daniels played for 10 years in the NFL, right?
100%, but he was never a starting quarterback.
That's fine, but I bet you there was 5 quarterbacks taken before him that probably didn't play 6 games.
That's probably accurate.
Probably. I'm a Chase Daniel fan. I was Chase Daniel fan in college.
I think that dude could have spun it, just like I was a fan of the dude that went
him
to
and Jay Macklin was crazy.
Green Bay. What's his name? Kurt Bennett.
Kurt Benkert.
Yeah, I think he was a dude too. Like, I'm a fan of him. I think he got thrown into the deal as well. That dude could sling the ball, but
I'd have taken Chase Daniel over Brady Quinn all day, by the way.
You think Brady Quinn
starting?
No, I think that's facts.
All right, ready? Jalen Milroe or Will Howard?
Milroe's trash talk. I'm the wrong person. I'm the wrong guy. I hate that dude.
I'm just saying, like, who would you think is going to have a more productive, a longer NFL career?
Based off of what I've seen in college, it will be Will Howard. But if Jalen Milroe lands in the right spot and can be groomed, we'll have to see. But yeah, based off of what I've seen at the collegiate level, is Will Howard.
Can I be a savage real quick?
Could Will Howard be like Flacco?
Oh, dude.
That's
elite, dude.
He went in the first round, right? But it took him a little bit before he started cooking. It took him a playoff run.
Had a howitzer.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, a guy that took a little bit to come along. Could he be a Geno Smith? Right? Takes a little bit to come along. Like, falls into the right spot in Seattle. Right? Maybe he has to sit a year or two. A team that's on the bridge takes Will Howard late. You know what I mean? Could he be what New Orleans wanted Spencer Rattler to be the bridge between Derek Carr to the next real deal guy? That's why I think he's going to get a chance. He'll be a late, maybe 4th, 5th round pick, right?
Yeah, I was wondering what your projection was.
Yeah, I think he'll get it. I think it's going to be a 4th round pick because 5, 6, and 7 is just crapshoots now with NIL and the way things are going. Like, people.
I'm going to take a 73% quarterback in the 3rd round all day in his senior season.
Who did it against the elite talent? Like, all right, he had top-notch wide receivers, but he's also going against top-notch defenders, right? In Big Ten and throughout the college football, and he was winning. So I'm not saying Will Howard is Jackson Dart. I'm just saying I think Will Howard has some tools in his bag, and he showed a little bit of how guys can be game managers, quote unquote, not to be Cam Newton, but can be Brock Purdy-esque, right? And be successful. Like, Will Howard could be Brock Purdy. I don't think Brock Purdy does much more things better than Will Howard does.
I mean, Brock Purdy was a dude in college.
1 year.
With nobody. No. Look at it, not more than 1 year. With nobody at wide receiver.
Senior season, right? At Iowa State?
71%.
No, that was his junior year. He went back
nope.
to senior year. He took a step back his junior year to senior year. Breece Hall was the dude his senior year.
What's the bet? I'm going to look up real quick, but.
I'm just telling you.
Yo, what's up, bro?
While Boomer looks this up, who's your way too early 2026 national champion?
Way too early 2026 national champion is the Clemson Tigers in Death Valley, South Carolina.
Hey, just so we're clear, I said 71%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said 71%.
Senior season 71.7. His junior season went 66.6.
Oh, yeah, and then his sophomore year was a good year as well, right? So there was a break.
60. Nope, he was 65. He actually got better senior season before any other year. 64, right, 65, 60, 71.
Boom, follow with me. Sophomore to junior, that was the drop-off, correct?
No, it went up. It went 64, 65, 66, 71.
Oh, percentage, but overall, like he had way more interceptions his junior season.
Oh yeah, no, his sophomore season balled 3,800 yards.
That's what I'm saying. So his completion percentage was good, but he had
And I
way
don't
more
think the
turnovers.
team was as good as we thought they were going to
Yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah. His sophomore season was a dog, dude. Absolute dude. Yeah. Sorry. Let me go back to Moon.
Let's go back to the Clemson Tigers. What about Clemson?
Everything about Clemson.
Except their
Clemson,
transfer portal.
yeah, except the transfer portal. Boom.
Three players. Three, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm gonna mute Boom again. Go ahead.
appreciate you, bro. Let's cook. Experienced quarterback, check. Cade Klubnik's going to his senior year. I'm happy that he's actually going to stay for his senior season because I felt like there wasn't a lot of people that thought he was going to come out this year, but I was under the impression, especially the way he was playing later in the season. I'm excited for him to take that next step up, not just with his talent, but just overall leadership in Clemson's program. I can't wait to be there when Cade Klubnik walks off in senior day. That's going to be fire. Outside of that, they got dynamic wide receivers and arguably the best wide receiver and wide receiver room in the nation. And I could talk all day about it, but I just love dynamic playmakers that can stretch the field and be reliable targets for Cade. And you talk about these just their tough schedule. They open up versus LSU. That's a prove it game. They got to go on the road to Bobby Dodd, prove it game against Brent Key. That I will be there. They got to play Louisville. They're going to have to be resilient and tough. And
LSU hasn't opened well the last few seasons.
No, they haven't.
If we're being honest, okay.
Clemson gets another chance. It's a downside grade. It's a downgrade because we saw Clemson take on the juggernaut of Georgia in the opening week and then completely just wet the bed last year. So it's a chance to redeem themselves. I feel like look at the historic success. Clemson just won the ACC championship last year and they had 2 losses. And I'm like, that's a bad year. Like it's a bad year. And it can't be worse than 2023 was. 2023 was just miserable. When I look at Clemson, the number one reason
3 or 4 losses, and it was miserable for their brand. Crazy. Yeah.
They stormed the field for Notre Dame. That's how bad it was, bro. I was there for it. I just say Clemson takes that next step because the energy is different. Tim Allen is the defensive coordinator for Clemson now. Is just going to be the Achilles heel that pushes him over the top. When I look at just the energy, watching practice clips from them, I'm like, yo, they already have dogs. They just needed a coach that can really tap into that. I like what Cade in the offense did. Of course, I have my question marks about the running back room, like everybody should, but I feel like it's going to have to be a committee air raid approach this year. And when you got a leader that's coming in like Tim Allen, Dabo's already praised him. He's been putting the criticism to the side when it comes to like giving slam dunk hires. So he's been letting them cook. There's times last year where I wish Dabo was more he let go of the reins even more and just get out the way even more, bro. There's no reason why you should lose to Louisville at home in a night game when all you need to do is win and you're in the driver's seat of the ACC that night. Like there's too many times that he got in his own way and he sabotaged. But I could look outside of that and say, when you bring in new energy like Coach Allen on defense, it just meshes. They're going to be running a 4-2-5 defense, which is their bread and butter. You're going to let all them defensive backs like Khalil Barnes, Avion Terrell, you're going to let them go crazy. Then you got Peter Woods who's going to be taking that next step into national recognition this year. TJ Parker already took that next step before. They continuously push out talent. So I'm just looking at it.
Baby.
Sammy Brown taking the next step, and they finally unleashing the dog because they did it in the bowl game, and he went monster. So it's like it's been a process, but I look at it and I say Clemson probably might be my favorite to win a natty, because I feel like head to head they can compete with a team like Oregon. If I'm looking at that as the cream of the crop, talent on talent. Maybe not in all areas, but if I had to give them the overall overwhelming edge, I would say I would feel comfortable because their offensive line, Clemson's offensive line is consistent, and it got some senior guys in there or some older guys in there that's gonna really bring some consistency for Cade, so he doesn't have to worry about shuffling that leads to a drop off in production. So that's my early 2026 pick.
KT, real quick, can I? I'm gonna cook Boom real quick before I talk about Moon. Boom, bro. When you want to get a narrative across, make sure you spit the whole narrative. 71%, cool. But the dude threw 19 total touchdowns, bro. And to say that he had nobody to throw the ball to, Xavier Hutchinson, drafted in the 6th round of the NFL. Charlie Kohler, drafted in the 4th round of the NFL. Breece Hall, drafted in the 1st round of the NFL. We're not going to do this, my man. He had weapons, and he only had 19 touchdowns. You can complete the passes, cool, but you're what an epitome of a game manager is when you don't put up, like you guys said, 25 to 30 touchdowns, right? So I don't give a shit if he was 71%. He was dunking and dinking to guys that were getting him his 3,100 yards, bro. He wasn't airing that ball out. Will Howard was airing the ball out down the stretch for Ohio State.
As he should. He's got a better wide receiver. Is Hutchinson good? I'm not
Jeremiah Smith, dog.
I'm not saying he's Jeremiah Smith. He said he had nobody. I'm just saying the guy got drafted and he's still on Houston Texans.
Whether he got drafted or not.
He still plays in the NFL and he still plays in the Houston Texans with them getting Stephon Diggs and all these other guys. He still gets time every week. I'm not saying he's Charlie Kohler still plays in the NFL. When we were talking about college production anyway. So 1,000 yards? That's a jump? 1,000 yards? And it's tight end at 800? And Breece Hall at another 5 plus 1,700 fucking rushing yards, if not more? Like, Breece Hall had almost 30 touchdowns on the ground. That's why your boy Brock Purdy was so efficient, because DBs had to linebackers and DBs had to stay true to him. Well, let's put all the facts to the stew.
I'm just saying, Hudson trash.
He wasn't trash the year your boy was 71% completion. That's all I'm saying. He was a very good weapon for your boy. And he was a top wide receiver in the Big 12. That trash that he is.
Just so we're clear, we agree the Big 12 was absolutely trash on defense that year, right? Because you can't. OU was part of that.
You just bigged up the quarterbacks, and then on the next paragraph,
no.
Shit.
I just said he got better every year, and he did. No. He threw almost 72%.
There was 4 quarterbacks at 3,000 yards that were better than 65%. And then in the next conversation, you just said that the defense was garbage. So what does that percentage mean? Shit. Don't mean anything. The stats inflated because everybody's defense was trash, right?
But he still carried it on into pro is what I'm saying.
And what I said was, this dude wasn't elite. He was a game manager, and he's epitome of a game manager on all of his stats. And I said, Will Howard, senior season, may not have had 71%. He was pretty damn good. And
Will Howard's better, actually, senior season, 273.
So if you look at,
I'm here for it. What I'm saying. This doesn't go to the Will Howard. What I'm saying is Ohio State, no matter who the quarterback is going to have a good year next year because their wide receiver core is so good. That's what I'm saying. It had nothing to do with Will Howard. That had the fact that their wide receiver core might be and still is the best wide receiving core in the nation.
So if Cade McNamara was the quarterback for Ohio State, we would get plus 2,500 yards?
No, I'm not Cade McNamara guy. Don't put that shit on me. Don't put that dude on me. Don't put that dude on me.
It's not just plug and play.
That ain't my guy.
I know it's not your guy.
If Caden Salter went there, though, easy.
If Caden Salter went there, dog.
Right.
If Dylan Gabriel went there,
they're going with a kid that's a 5-star most likely, and I think he's a dude. But it's going to be his first time commanding an offense.
The great thing is he got a great offensive line and a great wide receiving core and probably a good running back core. That's what I'm saying. Is overall the depth is so good at Ohio State. No matter what they lose, they have the best chance, in my opinion, to win a natty. That's what I was saying.
I get that, but what I was talking about, we kind of just veered away from it. So, Moon, let me get back to you real quick.
Yeah, I veered away from me, man.
I think you
veer option.
I think that Clemson is a juggernaut in the ACC.
It is.
Year. My only concern with them is the running back.
Running back.
Running back.
It's always a running back.
That was an issue last year. Phil Moffitt.
I know. You're going to keep letting them go. I understand, bro.
You let Will Shipley and Travis Etienne back to back, though. What are you going to do?
Listen,
I know, but Maffa was a dude when Shipley was there. He just wasn't the dude. He can't be the dude. They didn't have enough guys.
Just look deeper than running back and just look at the big picture that they finally got a defensive coordinator that can actually have a track record of over 3 decades of coaching experience at Florida. South Florida, my bad. Oh, Miss Indiana. He is the juice behind Indiana. Before
how many defensive points you putting up? You know what I'm saying?
No, but their biggest thing. You're talking about their ability to run the ball. I'm saying that their ability, that the one weakness that Clemson had glaringly last year was their inability to stop the run. They now have a guy that can come in there that served as a defensive coordinator and linebackers coach that can work with Sammy Brown, work with this D line that can help.
Sammy Brown's a dog.
And work with them and implement this 4-2-5 scheme that can, like, you talk about intensity. Tim Allen's one of the most intense coaches in the nation.
They got a schedule.
Yeah. They got a great schedule.
It works. It shapes out for college football playoff controversy because if they handle business like they need to, then
they got LSU. Troy's no slouch at GT. Syracuse, we don't know what they are. Bill Belichick, be interested to see what he's doing in Tar Heel.
Come on, they should be undefeated
at Boston College. SMU, we don't know what Duke will be. Don't know what Florida State will be. At Louisville, and they finished the season, of course, at South Carolina.
They should be 4-1 or 5-0 to start.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, when I say to run a bit, because you're going to kids that don't have experience. Yes, Moff had 1,000 yards last year, and you have it over 5 yards of whack. But now, who's the guy? Is it going to be the sophomore that you're going to go to in Jay Haynes?
I'm going with Jay Haynes.
Okay,
yeah, I'm going with Jay Haynes.
Inconsistency. What I do like about the pick, what I do like about what you said, Cade Klubnik from like week 5 on was nails for Clemson last year. He had 35 touchdowns and only had 6 interceptions. His main thing was turnovers the previous year. He checked the fuck out the previous year. Dabo was calling plays. He was changing them at the line. I'm running whatever the hell I want to run.
Him and Garrett got that little connection.
Dabo took a step back.
Exactly.
Garrett. So
I hope that he does that on the defensive side of the ball too, and just let Tim Allen cook, dog. Just let him cook. I want to see him go to work with Peter Woods. I want to see him working with the player development in the weight room and strength and training and conditioning. I need him to be in the mix because he taps into that inner predator that Clemson needs. They need to tap into that predator mentality this year, where it's like, okay, I understand we're the hunted, but nah, we hunt. We're the ones that hunt. They're banking on this year being the cream of the crop for their initial recruiting class. This class with Peter Woods and Terrell and all of them, they were banking on this year.
I will say this: if they go even deep in the playoffs, we got to say that Dabo's elite. I have him not elite right now because of the transfer portal. Yeah. But if they do that, it's because he's a great coach. Because he ain't top 100 in transfer portal. So that's he's solely based.
We've been around a lot of programs other than the other conference. We've been on the field, sidelines, practices. What I see at Clemson is different from a lot of other programs where it's really like a family. Like, I've been to their spring games. I've been to a couple of games in person. Like, it's the way that they operate is different. Dabo really wants to get these kids, as 17 to 18-year-olds, and teach them to be men. I think they have the highest
graduation
rate.
Matters.
PPEs, like all that stuff matters. So he really is trying to build a family there. I just think it's next to impossible. Now, granted, it was at 0% last year. It's gone up because I've seen that, okay, this guy can't get to the playoffs doing it his way. Of course, it's in the ACC. But, I don't know. We'll see. I do like Clemson a lot this year. I like Clemson an awful lot this year. My pick is a team that I fainted on this team probably for like the last 3 or 4 years. But I'm with the Arch Manning Media Cartel, so my pick.
Oh gosh! Call the ladies. It's the Arch Media Manning. Oh, bro!
Did you see Boomer? Yo, Boomer! If Boomer could steal me through the goddamn screen,
I'm about to mute him because I know he's about to say.
Hey,
I already did.
Hey, you can go on Big Texas, bro.
Yeah, I'm going Texas, man. I'm going Sarkisian.
I can't go against you there. I've been on them for 2 years. I'm with you. But hey, I gotta bow out I got the kiddos that can hear them rattling.
Okay. Nah, that's all good. We can finish the rest of this segment.
You guys got the rest of the segment, right? You can be boys. You can handle it.
Can we handle it?
Well, I might. Boomer might. The thing is, Boom might not let you
Hey,
talk.
I appreciate the hate. Like,
I know.
my God, I love y'all. I love y'all. 100%.
It's supposed to be done after this. Like I said, we can save the rest for next week if we want to.
No, whatever you guys can finish.
Okay. Okay. What about Sooner Shake now?
We'll do it next week. It's late.
Okay. Ah, man. Nino has.
I ain't never been muted so much in my life. Okay, my man came at me today. I mean, hey, listen, I love the commentary, the camaraderie is wow. Hey, you know what's the one thing that we can say here at CFB Nation is you ain't going to get something fake from us.
No.
Nah, not at all.
Now we're going to be real, 100%, and that's what it is. And my man Nino and I, y'all know that's my brother. 100%, and we come at each other tonight, and you gotta love it.
That's the way it's supposed to be. Man, me and Nino have had some tense moments on this show. Like East Coast,
hey,
all them know. Like we've had some moments, like we've thrown blows at each other over this damn screen.
Hey, it's overreact, baby. Overreact Monday.
Yeah, that's what it's time to do. All right, y'all. So we're gonna switch gears. We get y'all out way too early, and in the comment section, let us know who your way too early national champion is. Granted, it's only February. We'll know a lot more for spring ball. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the CFB Nation Spring Ball Tour. I think more you're going to kick off the spring tour at the HBC Legacy thing, correct?
Yeah, this Saturday we kicking it off in the Legacy Bowl.
Okay.
And we'll be out there covering it, and then hopefully the next stop will be Liberty for their spring game on March the 1st, Saturday.
Yeah, you'll be coming to my neck of the woods, and I will be going to that spring game as well. So I'm excited about that. We're gonna talk about some other conference ball. For any of you guys who don't know the context to why I call that conference that's located in the southern eastern part of the United States the other conference, I'll give you guys a little backstory. Nino has done a fantastic job running our Twitter and our YouTube. Boomer, Moon, and everybody else has done such a fantastic job contributing to our website. We covered every team this past year, every Power 4 team. We covered a host of D2 teams. We covered all of the G5 schools as well. Every game, not one game, two, every game we've covered of all G5 P4 schools, and the only conference that we have not been credentialed for is the other conference. So when you guys hear me call that the other conference, that is the reason why I call it that. But we're gonna talk some of that, boy.
Yeah, I'm alumni of the other conference right now, and that's rough.
Yeah, they gotta make it make sense. So we're gonna try to get through this as quickly as possible. We're doing some over unders. You two can have at it. Georgia over 10.5 games. Where you guys going, over under?
I'm going over.
Under.
Yeah, it's at that.
I'm not ready. It's the quarterback thing for me. I'm not ready for it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna trust Kirby to cook. I think Kirby learned a lot this year, and it really was like about attrition, like just staying healthy. And I felt like he understood what comes down to it. It's tough because in my heart I want to say under, but
he got some attrition in the transfer portal.
He did. I'm happy that they'll finally get Mr. Smith out of their wide receiver core now, so they can actually have somebody that catch the ball.
It's hard to get to 11 games in a conference with such an immense amount of parity. Like none of us probably had Vandy making, being bowl eligible last year. I didn't have being bowl eligible last year, so you got to think about how deep this conference is. So it's going to be hard for a team. If you win 11 games, you're going to earn it. So I'm going with under, only because how deep this conference is. Up next, Texas, 10 wins, over under.
I mean, given everything you said, I would say over. Yeah, I know what you said about, but their schedule is favorable compared to the rest of the SEC.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go over.
Over. It's a push for me.
I hate to say that, by the way.
Yeah, I know you do. Shout out to balling with Brad. He's in the building. Yeah, that's tough. Ole Miss 9.5. You guys going over or under?
If it was 8.5, I would go over.
Pieces this year, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, to say they're going to be a 10-win team is really tough for me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have an easy schedule. It's the other conference. So
I thought this was this past year. They really let me down. They were.
If you'd have gave me 9, if you'd have gave me over 8.5, I'd have go But
yeah,
that's what I said.
yeah.
I think they win 9 games. I don't know if they win 10 games.
Ole Miss is under. I definitely agree with Ryan Sims there. Ole Miss is definitely under. Alabama 9.5. I think I'm going to confidently say I'm not. I like Kalen DeBoer. I'm not touching that one. I would say it would be a push. I could see 9. I don't see 10, so it'll be under for me.
It's like I had that confidence when Saban was there to pick them over every single time because they would cut it out. But
Kalen DeBoer has tidied up some things, and that's what Steve Spurrier. You remember what Steve Spurrier was saying about Billy Napier? He said, "Hey, I just really wish you would tidy up some things around a program.
Yeah.
Maybe some players were getting in trouble and things of that nature." So they say Kalen DeBoer has ran a strict circuit training program. They got the off-season workout program before the practices starts.
They're not putting up with nothing, bro.
Yeah, I heard the video games is out of the locker room. I heard, but he ain't playing, bro. So LSU over under 9 wins.
I think Nussmeier's a Heisman favorite, so I'm gonna go over.
I think they get 10 too. I'm gonna go over as well, and I'm with you with the Nussmeier Heisman hype. What about you, Moon?
I would say under. But
I get why. I get why, especially with your championship pick. You're just being consistent with your championship pick.
Because then I got them losing to Clemson.
Right. So the halves is what really get me. Tennessee 9.5 games. What you guys have with them?
9.5 is crazy work.
I'm with Boomer. I'm taking the under.
Yeah, it's under for me. And listen, that's my guy as the head coach. I love Josh Heupel. Huge fan, massive fan of Josh Heupel. I need to see a defense elite out of them, and I just can't see it right now.
I will have to agree.
I'm not.
I think it's 9.
You think it's 9? I think that's really the half is what makes it difficult.
It's crazy how many 9-win teams are in the other conference. By the way,
yeah, for sure. Missouri 9.5. What you guys want?
Under,
way under.
Yeah,
under.
Yeah,
they lost everybody.
I need to go on Bet US right now and make that bet.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. If they make a bowl game, I'll be shocked.
Yeah. I'm definitely confident in their under.
Yeah.
Because it was just like shaping out. Everybody was like, "Oh man, their schedule last year was just so favorable."
Right.
I'm not touching Missouri at all this year.
Easy schedule in the SEC last year, and Burden is really past you. So yeah, good luck with that. Texas A&M. I think this is a hard team to read. 8.5.
That is hard,
what do you guys want?
It's a good number, by the way. I mean,
great number.
I'll take
8.5 is a really good number. I think A&M's a really solid team. I think they have a favorable schedule because of their schedule overall. I think it's a push. Give me 8 or 9 wins.
I like the push for that as well. But I'm going to pick one. Give me over. Give me over for Texas A&M.
I'm okay with it. I told you 9 wins is a good number.
It's gonna come down.
I'm gonna surprise Boomer with this next one. I'm going over for Oklahoma with 8 games. I think people gonna have Oklahoma effed up this year.
Oh yes,
I agree.
Sure. Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna bring it up next week when we do the shakedown. But Oklahoma has to change 2 spots to the quarterback and the offensive line. I think they've done that. I think they could start 5-0.
Wow. And
if they do that, I think they at a minimum beat Missouri late. I'm not a big Alabama fan. Tennessee. The tough thing is they play Missouri and LSU at home last 2 games, which is huge because they play Alabama and Tennessee away. 2 of the last 4 games. Yeah. So that's a tough one. I don't care where you are. Both those games are really tough. But if they could win 3 of those 4, that's 9 wins. So there's that.
Yeah.
That's not counting South Carolina, by the way. So
yeah, there's a couple of teams on here. Actually, Bet US use the code CFB Nation. I'm going to give you guys some bets that I'm making automatically once I do it. I'm taking South Carolina. We ain't even got there yet. I'm taking the easy over with that. I'm taking Oklahoma on the over. I'm taking what team was it that I'm definitely taking the under on? What's it?
Missouri.
I'm taking those
Smash. Smash.
Yeah, take those automatically. All right, Auburn, I think is where I disagree with everybody on Auburn. I disagree with everybody on Auburn.
Which Jackson Arnold we getting?
We are about to see this huge freeze experiment. This thing about to go off the rails, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you can make the redhead at TCU an elite quarterback, you're taking a 5-star and actually doing something with it. Auburn with the over all day. I don't even look at the number.
You taking Auburn with the over?
What's the number?
7.5.
7.5.
Oh man, eight's easy.
8's easy
That's
for
what I'm
Auburn.
saying. Yo, they got Cam Coleman getting the ball thrown from.
They play 4 or 5 teams. They play 4 or 5 teams that might not be sub 500. Just so we're clear. So,
I've seen a couple.
That's 5 wins. So
yeah, I seen a couple games with Auburn last year. It was just like some of this is coaching, bro.
Yeah.
Like the Arkansas game. That game was one of the most difficult games to watch of all last year, bro. It was a turnover.
Wasn't that at Arkansas too?
Yeah, it was. Give me the under on Auburn. That'll be my surprise pick. Give me the under on Auburn. Kentucky. Where do we stand with Kentucky? Yeah, 6.5 is Mark Stoops. Will he survive past this season? Do they still look at him as a god in Kentucky?
That's tough.
Listen, no matter what that dude's done at Kentucky,
he's good.
He's good. Yeah. I mean, let's be real. There's been years you're like, who's their anything? Who's their wide receiver, running back? I mean, he's made average dudes look really good. He's made guys who've been suspended really good. He's the last Stoops alive coaching, so
yeah,
he ain't going nowhere, bro. I mean, it's the facts.
People to the league too, man.
After they got dog walked by South Carolina, they upset Ole Miss. That game is just still incredible to me.
Hey, shout out to Beamer, bro.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kentucky got.
I'm not touching this Kentucky one. That'll be the one I won't touch. I'm
7 wins, so that includes bowl games too.
That's a good question.
Hey, 7 wins. You got Toledo, win, right?
Yeah.
Ole Miss, oof.
Yeah.
Eastern Michigan, win.
Okay.
South Carolina, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee.
Now we talking.
Auburn? At Auburn though, it's Tennessee at home though. Okay. At Auburn, toss up, but overall, Beamer ball. I think we all agree their coaches or their quarterback is top 5 Heisman. He's a Heisman favorite, right? Sellers.
Oh
yeah. So give me Auburn. I'm telling you what, I wish I could be at the Florida game. Right?
Yeah.
Tennessee Tech, whatever. I don't even know if that's a real game, but that's a win. Vanderbilt, win. Louisville, win.
Rivalry.
That's 8 wins.
That's 8 wins. You just named them and
Smash.
7. So yeah, I'm taking. I
Smash. Hey, and one of those is gonna be an upset. So 8 or 9 wins. Call it.
I'll take that 7 with Kentucky. South Carolina at 5.5. I think it's disrespectful.
That's disrespectful as hell.
5.5.
That's crazy work.
Yeah.
What did you say, my man? With what? What team with what?
Lenore Sellers?
With Lenore Sellers.
That might be the quickest smash I've had all season.
Yo, I'm telling you.
Dude, they didn't lose enough.
Yeah, no.
Put your first deposit.
Beamer ball for real, bro.
On South Carolina going over 5.5 wins, so they basically have to be bowl eligible. Okay,
I'm you know what? I ain't even looked at their schedule yet, but I'm gonna have to pull that up.
Same, but
the only one
he's a lot like his Paul Frank Beamer.
Yeah,
preaches special teams a lot. They play sound ball. I like it a lot. Arkansas, you guys ever Arkansas Sam Pittman survived another year?
I'm actually liking Arkansas right now. Surprisingly, bro. I'm surprisingly
at 4.5. They get 5 wins.
I'm surprisingly liking it, man. I don't know why. And I don't know if it's just because it's early and it's February. But what I've been seeing from Arkansas has been giving me like good feelings, good energy. Looking into their practices, and what they've been moving around in the offseason. So it's a low number enough for me to push it at 4.5. If you're telling me who makes you feel more comfortable, Florida at 4.5 or Arky at 4.5, I'm taking Florida at 4.5. Easy.
Sure.
Smash.
I'll be honest with you. I've got to look at their schedule because I don't know if they play anybody.
Arkansas opened up the season versus
Florida at 4.5 is interesting. Let me look at Florida's schedule.
Arkansas opens up the season versus the
At
FCS.
Alabama A&M.
Yeah, Alabama A&M. That's
So
nasty.
they win the first two. They beat Alabama A&M. They beat Arkansas State. They probably beat Memphis. They go on a 4-game losing streak with Notre Dame, Tennessee, A&M, and Auburn. Mississippi State, I don't know.
They got to host Notre Dame. Oh, Fayetteville, Arkansas, gonna be rocking for that game.
Yeah, and I only live an hour south, so I'm probably we're gonna have to go September 27th. Yeah, so, man. Dude, I'll be honest with you though, 4.5. Dude, the fact you got it, they probably Missouri's trash, bro. I don't give a shit. But you got to beat Notre Dame, Tennessee, A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State, LSU, Texas in a row
to give me 4.5. So I got to get 5. If I had to pick 5 wins, I would say Missouri, Mississippi State. Give me Arkansas State, Alabama, A&M.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, Mississippi State is not a pushover here.
Oh no, it's not a pushover. I know it's later in the year. It's just later in the year. That's why I would pick.
Yeah, for sure.
I should have.
I like that team in Starkville. I think Jeff Lebby gonna have something cooking up this year. I gotta look at the schedule.
Stark Vegas might be another interesting over too.
Hey, it's 4.5, so it means they have to get the 5 wins. 5 wins.
Yeah. 5 wins.
I would probably fade it now that you said Arkansas like that because I know the first two, Alabama A&M.
Damn.
But they might beat Memphis, right? We'll say they beat Memphis. That's 3, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, can you beat 2 of the next 5? Can you beat Notre Dame, Tennessee, A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State, LSU, Texas, and Missouri?
Oh, I think you beat. That is tough, bro. Oh, that is tough.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, Sam Pittman's gone by the Mississippi State game.
But listen, they got 3 home games.
I'm taking the under on Arkansas.
Yeah, got to. I got to. I'm sorry.
They had 3 home games though. 3 home games after the Tennessee game. Texas, Auburn, and Mississippi State before they got to go to Death Valley and to DKR. So,
I've been trying to save Sam Pittman for years. He's gone this year, bro.
It's in the air.
He's That's gone. A tough one, dude. That's a tough one.
Mississippi State at 3.5. How we feeling about them?
Man, you've been saying it, man. Lebby's been cooking, man.
Yeah, I like Jeff Lebby a lot, man.
He's been growing on me a lot. I like the coaching hires he's been making. Recruiting is starting to lean into his way. If I'm looking at their schedule, I mean, any schedule in the SEC is
crazy that I think week 2 they can possibly upset ASU, bro.
Arkansas State?
Yeah,
not Arkansas State. No. Arizona State.
Arizona State.
Week 2.
It's not without the realm of possibility.
I'm telling you, Starkville will be on fire. They open up week 1, get a W against USM. Week 2.
And dude, they could be 4-0.
They could be. That's what I'm saying. That's why I like this 3-5. I'm taking Mississippi State on this 3-5. But it has to be that way though.
It has to be that way because Southern Miss just brought in Huff from Marshall.
Playing at Starkville is so tough, bro.
Yeah, it is.
But on them cowbells, they got to play Alcorn State, NIU. It's gonna be like either an early start.
Are we betting on the first 4 games? Because then it get a little.
Hey, ugly. Bro, I like I said, I think they beat Arkansas and they beat Missouri.
I'm with you.
Smash.
Yeah. I think Mississippi State is definitely
five's a win, bro. They might make 6.
Yep.
I would be a fan of the other conference if Mississippi State did good.
And same. I'll give them their name back if that happens.
I'll do that. Even though they don't really, even though Mississippi State still kind of.
How we feeling about Vandy this year? Surprise!
Oh man, that's the gauntlet, bro. It's a gauntlet. I tried.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now.
When the number first came out, and you said, "Hey, they're only projected Vandy to have 3 wins," and I'm like, "Vandy, the same Vandy that had to play that made it to a bowl game this year."
They surprised people this year, though.
Your schedule is.
Who did Vandy piss off? Who did they piss off?
They pissed off somebody, bro.
Hey, who did Oklahoma piss off? Let me tell you, the fact that they had to go to the SEC. They have the number 1 toughest schedule, and we're talking about them winning 9 games.
Bro, Vandy
toughest schedule in football.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Bro, I'm sorry. Vanderbilt gets wrecked. Sorry.
Hey, you better not.
Hey,
Against
I don't see it.
my team. You should know my team.
Georgia State.
Yep.
Where the game at? I was about to say if it was at Georgia State, it wouldn't surprise me. Georgia State. Where they at 3? No, I don't see 3 wins on here, bro. I'm sorry.
Nah, I don't. It's hard. They got to play home versus Georgia State. You could possibly say Charleston Southern. Okay. Utah State. And Utah State not a pushover. I'm not going to let you push over the Mountain West. Like, that's tough, man. They got at Alabama versus LSU versus Eli Drinkwitz in Missouri at Texas. And
that might be the game, though.
That could be the game. If you're going to look at it.
They're going to beat Charleston Southern. Even, what they got to get? They got to get the 3 wins?
Yeah, well, 3.5, I think.
No, it's 3. It's 3. It's 3. Hold on, I might take the win then.
So they have to get 3. They don't have to get 4.
Nah, they don't have to get 4.
They just have to get 3. That's the case. Then I would smash
1. I don't know about Virginia Tech. It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna come down to Virginia Tech, dog.
Georgia State, Utah State. Yeah, that one's tough. And then Missouri. We just none of us are predicting a great year for Missouri. So.
They got to get 3 wins.
Yeah, 3.
I think they get 3.
Yeah, I think I would take that. If it was 3
That's
and a half,
push.
I wouldn't touch it. But
Yeah,
at 3, I would take it. All right,
yeah.
we're gonna get into a conversational piece before we close out this episode. I think this episode might be in a running for one of our longest episodes.
100%.
I think Moon and Nino have an episode that ran for about 2 hours when Moon was up here. So, in my opinion, the good old boy reputation that the NFL has certainly precedes itself. The NFL seems to have an issue with pathway licensing agreement with college players. And even though the pathway program doesn't violate anything in the NFL collective bargaining agreement, the NFLPA still takes issue with it by releasing the following statement. And before I get into the question, this is what the statement was. It was from the NFL Players Association. The NFLPA is aware of the licensing program led by Pathway Sports Entertainment, Inc. Through Pathways is seeking name, image, and likeness NIL rights from college players for use in video games. The agreement being offered to the college athletes attached here for reference includes a provision which states if when a player becomes a professional football player, Pathway will have the first option and right of first refusal to license players' name, image, likeness in connection with any professional video games. In other words, for any college player that wants to sign with Pathways, any future use of the player's NIL in a video game would require negotiation with Pathway. The right of refusal could be exercised by Pathway in a way that could complicate or restrict. Pay attention to how they use the verbiage that they're using. The player's future options for using his NIL in video games, including the NFL. As you know, our CBA requires every NFL player to sign the standard NFL player contract. And that player contract in turn requires each NFL player to assign his group NIL rights on an exclusive basis to the NFLPA and licensing affiliates for use in the group licensing program that supports the union and its members. Accepting the terms of Pathway agreement as drafted could, the operative word is could, pay attention to the language here, present risk or complications for potential NFL player clients, including but not limited to not being able to comply with the grant of rights set forth in the standard NFL player contract and exclusion from the NFLPA's group licensing, which includes opportunity far beyond video games. The NFLPA is dedicated to protecting and preserving the interests of our current and future members as the representatives of a potential future NFLPA. If you represent a college athlete that is presented with Pathways or other similar agreements, we recommend that you carefully evaluate the terms and conditions presented in such agreements that could complicate, and once again, pay attention to the verbiage, their ability to participate in NFL opportunities, contracts, blah, 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 blah. The question to everyone is the NFLPA out of line for this, or do they truly have the players' best interest at heart? Talk to me.
I think maybe Pathway might be out of line.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, listen. The goal is always as a kid, like when it's time to make it. You ain't trying to make it to college,
right?
You trying to make it to the league.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to block the dude from being a face of football in Madden, we'll say, right? And let's be real, NCAA football just became a thing after 13 years, which massive NCAA fan, by the way.
For sure.
But if Pathway isn't really trying to block its money, then nothing is. In my opinion, listen, if you want to make the guy money, you maybe get paid because they're with you, but don't block them from being somebody. So, in my opinion, and nothing against the NFLPA, I think Pathway might be blocking these guys in general because the point is to get to the league, not to college. And hey, props to people that make the college. Division I football is elite. Or Division II football, we all want to get bigger, but love or hate it, you try and get to the league. Just my opinion.
Yeah, and full disclosure, nothing in the Pathway program violates anything in the collective bargaining agreement. Could it possibly complicate things? Absolutely. Would Pathway help these players get more money than they got last year, which was the $600? But a lot of players were just happy. And there were players who opted out, like JT Tuma, however you say his damn last name, from Ohio State. Moon, where you at on this?
Oh man. All right, so let's just break it down. When I first heard about this from you, I was kind of like confused. I was like, okay, what is this about? Like, is this about the rights? And then we talked about it like, okay, it's about the rights. And ultimately, the controversy is with Pathway and the NFL on name, image, and likeness. And this is something that we're not going to be able to get away from in this new world of college football.
Yeah.
It's surprising to me that the NFL tries to come into this situation and essentially try to strong arm Pathway when the NFL could easily make the relationship for college football better and more beautiful if they work with us as far as scheduling. Why is the college football playoff national championship on a Monday and not on a Saturday where college football is supposed to be played at?
That's a travesty. It's truly, and it's because of the wild card games, and the NFL ain't giving that time slot up.
They're not giving it up, and they're not even trying to budge. In fact,
I'd rather have it on a Thursday or a Friday in comparison to a Monday.
Right, Monday it's terrible.
I can make the argument.
The sport is terrible.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I know there's some people that like it on a Monday, but I'm not one of those people. Neither are we. So it makes me think about it. Like, they're not trying to help college football besides just taking our players and taking them to the league. You're not trying to do anything to help us with exposure. If I'm Mr. What's my guy's name for the college football playoff? Mr. Grant.
Richard.
Rich. Dang, his name's
Richard Kent or something like that.
Shout out to him. You know who we are. We met you in person. I'm furious with the NFL because it's like you don't want us to really win for real. We are helping you more than you are helping us. In what way is the NFL helping us? The Senior Bowl? Like, let's just talk about it. We're not competing with them, and y'all can easily say, "Hey, we can make a better marriage with ourselves with college athletics and college football," and say, "Hey, we get a time slot. Y'all can have this. Shoot, the Saturday before."
My apologies.
Rich Clark.
Yeah, that's his name.
He has to be talking to the NFL about why y'all not being flexible with this. Do you know that we can possibly get a Super Bowl on Valentine's Day and a college football playoff that is in closer to February than anything towards the end of the year in a couple of years? Like, it's ridiculous how the NFL doesn't try to help us. But
this sport hasn't even hit its golden age yet, and it's close. It's getting real close. This sport is about to effing explode. I'm telling you.
Joe Klatt always says we're in a golden age of college football. I totally agree with them. KT, I know you agree with them. Like, it's about to explode, and the market value for this is just shooting up. ESPN is trying to buy all the rights for it. You know, it's the higher up.
Monopolize it for sure.
You talk about the rights of everything. Why is ESPN buying the rights to all the games that we have? That's a whole nother conversation. Who are the higher ups that control the profit of the actual footage for collegiate college football games? Veritone. Go look up who Veritone is. Like, and see how much money is actually being made in these situations. So when I look at that and then compare it and contrast it to what we have to deal with college athletics, when College Football 25 came out, they promised players what?
A free game is $600.
$600 in a free game. No residual income, no royalties, no gratuity. Besides just a thank you that you got the game.
It was the what? The highest grossing sport game this past year?
Yes.
Yep.
Third in total sales of all games.
And that's incredible. Incredible after 10 plus
After people
years.
said it wouldn't even compete with Madden.
And it outsold Madden.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, Madden was his little stepson. Man.
But that's all they got was $600 in appearing in the college football game. And because of the hype at the time, it seemed like, dang, EA Sports, you got to pay them at some point. Now introduce Pathway Sports in their NIL deal. They are an NIL deal. So it's like their language and how they even like are a thing is carefully constructed too. And then it makes you go into the exclusive rights. And this means any future use of the player's NIL in a video game will require negotiation with Pathway Sports. So they're like, we'll be your middleman.
Guess what? They're not just representing individual players. I think the Fighting Alumni of Illinois, their entire team is with the Pathway program. The NFL just fears, because the NFL, what the NFL does is put fears. The reason why helmets can't be knocked off in Madden, it's a video game. The NFL don't want it. The NFL, they've always moved mafia like, mob like. It's like you were saying earlier. They won't give us that. We just want that one day. Saturday is our day. Just give us that one day where we can have our national championship.
We're already better than y'all. Y'all have bigger fan base. Y'all have owners that can pour into you. There is no owner of a college football team.
No.
There's no owner. There's no even governing body in college football. We're not talking about the NCAA no more. So when I look at this in the current CBA and what it projects for the involvement of schools, Illinois, Wisconsin, Oregon, Texas Tech, Alabama, Georgia, they already partnered with them. So you got the big dog and you got teams that's already saying like, look, we're going to go down this route. It leads to controversy. And now the NFL is like, hey, better watch out over there. And what you got going on from the NFL side, they're all about standardized agreements. They want standardized agreements. They want it to be secure and how they go about things and how they want to monetize their NIL rights. And it's a much of a larger system at play. They talk about protection of athletes and how they want to protect athletes from potential legal or contractual issues that they may face with third-party entities that's out there. You got broader opportunities because it's deeper than just playing in the video game. That's what they're saying. Hey, if I'm the NFLPA, hey, you got to watch out for your future because it's more than just being in college football 26. You got to think about trading cards. You got to think about jersey situation like Marvin Harrison just had to deal with last year. Commercial ventures, diverse revenue streaming, whatever you want to have. So, but then the other side of the coin is it's like you got lower initial compensation. You're not able to compete up front for these kids right now. If you offer a kid 1.5K up front, a lot of these kids they can't get, bro. You saw how fast they took the $600 from college football 25.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll see a lot more opt-outs this year.
Yeah, for sure. There has to be.
Year.
Last year it made like Arch Manning feel like a anomaly because of his opt-out situation.
Yeah, but, and then they did a big thing when he finally opted in.
So from Pathway Sports perspective, like their major pro is like, hey, we can offer you higher compensation than the $500, $600 that you got from EA Sports. And then
I'm trying to get a Red Bull sponsor. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, and we can give you increased visibility to your point, like because you're gonna get a fair share of the revenue generated from the video games and other commercial opportunities because they have commercial opportunities too. So it puts it because the NFL isn't the only one in the arena anymore,
right?
So now it's like anytime you get another head honcho that come into the building and stuff, and you kind of feel a little bit like you trying to control the block. Like, who is this over here doing what he's doing? Hey, just watch your mans.
Right.
Watch him. Keep an eye on him. Just let him know that what he's doing over there, he ain't breaking any rules yet. But it could convolute things. You know.
Yeah, I think that this is a great conversation. Hopefully they get this thing sorted out. The NFLPA releasing that statement kind of seemed more like fear than anything else because they didn't say anything that held any punches. It's like your parents say, "Hey, you shouldn't go out tonight." You didn't say I couldn't go out tonight. You just said I shouldn't go out tonight. So if you're not telling me no, and this is why I can't go out, you just saying I shouldn't go out, I'm going out. What's gonna stop me? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I like to wrap that up. Boomer, my guy, Moon,
Yes, sir.
Nino. It's been a hell of a show. I'm back. We will see you all next Monday. Y'all stay tuned. And remember, if you go to BetUS, use that code CFB Nation. BetUS will do you a favor and they will match 125% of your first deposit. You all take care.